Testing, testing. Okay, yeah, that's the mic that I need. And then let's go ahead and pop these open. Go ahead and speak in your mic real quick.
Hello?
Yeah, it sounds okay. That's the right one. And then
Testing, testing.
cool, cool. Yep. Okay, so we've got the right mics. And Bernard, you're engineering, right? The ENG.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. I got you. And aux is the all the sounds and all that stuff.
Yeah, put it on. See what happens.
Yeah, I've got it up right now, unmuted. It's only coming out of the left of your phone here.
Let's see.
It's all low right now. This is not adjusting its level right now. Is it going through your mic? Is that why you hear it?
No, it's FX. It's FX, not aux.
Oh, FX. Okay, let me turn aux on. There it is. Yeah. All right.
History land.
So, what are your guys' topics tonight?
It's going to be general gaming tonight. We're going to be getting to know them, their favorite games. It's going to be very casual, just going off because.
So feel free to chime in.
Yeah, Andrew had a plan, and then it all dropped to shit because the guest that he had won't come on because Andrew wasn't here. Andrew had to do work. Brandon ended up having to do something for school, I think. So it ended up being like last night.
Okay,
Andrew was
so
like, "Hey, you guys are still doing the show." But
okay, so in the vein of what you guys did the last time, go Super Nintendo favorite games. Just because the new Super Nintendo Mini came out last weekend.
yeah, that's what I was saying because we did Super Nintendo 2 weeks ago.
You did?
Yeah, we did our top 5 Super Nintendo games.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
And
Andrew was behind the.
That's right. Andrew was
board
back
on that
there.
one.
So,
Because I didn't want to show up.
yeah.
So
Can't blame you.
yeah, right. You know what? There's actually a cool thing I could talk about too. I just bought a game today called Drop Mix, and I could talk about what I saw at PAX. If you want to do that,
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you went to PAX?
I went to
That's
PAX.
dope, man.
Yeah, that'll be dope.
Nice.
I mean, we got to fill 2 hours. Andrew was real. He wanted us to keep the 2 hours. I was like, should we make it an hour tonight? And he was like, no. let's
yeah,
keep
make it an hour. I'm okay with this.
That's what I was saying. And he's like, no, let's be consistent. And I was like, oh, yeah,
no,
let's
you
be
don't. You
consistent,
don't
but
have
you're
to
not
be
here.
consistent. What you gotta do is just make sure you're having fun and enjoying this.
Yeah.
Everybody, give me your levels. I want to hear you talk, please.
This is how I'm going to sound right here.
You sound perfect. Next,
All right, here. Well, go ahead, man.
I'm going to sound like this.
move a little closer to the mic or put them up higher.
Yeah, get all up in there.
Is
that better?
Yeah, that's close enough.
I could put him up, though.
Put them up.
He's-
Put them a little more.
how about
Better?
that?
Yeah, there we go.
That does
Next.
Testing.
Oh, you're great.
Actually sounds good.
All right, am I good enough?
Yeah,
Am I
whatever.
A little closer.
Ah.
Oh, okay.
You're all right, Miguel.
Yeah, you sound
Thanks,
fine.
man.
All right, do you guys have any intro music ever, or do you want me to just pick up random video game sounds for you?
Let's go with the intro Turtles in Time Sewers. The
FYI, you are streaming right now, so
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, so we're on camera, but is there sound right now? Oh, it's
yeah,
really
they can hear
They can
everything
hear
we do.
everything? Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, hell yeah, everybody.
Hi there, people.
Start making mouth sounds.
Yeah.
Or don't. That'd be.
Or,
ASMR.
Immediately regretted that.
Brandon every week sits there and goes,
Oh, gross. Stop.
he does that every week.
I've
into the
not
mic.
noticed.
Yeah, there it
Okay,
is. That's the
guys,
one.
do me a favor. Give me 30 seconds. All clear.
It's raw, it's uncensored, it's live 24/7. It's chaoticradio.com.
What's up, everybody? It's Connor hosting this week because Andrew can't make it and Brandon's missing if you're looking at the cast here. And we got Miguel.
Yeah,
He's there.
I'm still here.
And we got 2 new guests here. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hi, guys. I'm Joy.
I'm Quaid.
And we also have our engineer back there. He's joining us for the mix.
Yo.
And yeah, we're going to be kicking things off just for fun, really. Bernard, you go ahead and let's go kick it off with PAX that you were talking about.
Okay, guys. So I was at PAX a couple weeks ago when it came out. I had a I would call this a vindictful trip. I got dumped, so I decided I was going to PAX.
Oh.
It was the best money ever spent.
Hell yeah.
Good.
And I've been to PAX a couple of times. I love PAX. I think it's one of the best things you do as a gamer in general.
Right.
Just to go and get in that atmosphere and spend time with people who love games as much as you do. And the fact that you can find and play all the new, weird, crappy games that you ever want to play is amazing. The swag there is on another level. I tried to get an apron from the brand new cooking game from Cartoon Network, Battle Chef Arena, something like that. It is stupid. But you know, for PAX being what it is, I've been there. This is I think my 4th time going to PAX. So anybody wants to go, just make sure. FYI, don't worry about getting PAX tickets. They sell out. You can buy them on Craigslist, the secondary market, for not a scout price. These are like basically ticket price.
Oh,
about
nice.
that time.
Okay, cool.
But when you go, you get to see, like, here's the issue with me. I know you guys are a lot younger than I am. So for what it is, I don't really know what the new game or the new hotness is ever. So I'm going up there with basically blind. I go up there blind and find all the new weird things I want to do. And the one thing I did find that I thought was amazing is a game called Drop Mix. And Drop Mix is something you will be playing this winter. I promise that.
Oh, cool.
Everybody will be playing Drop Mix. So you can think of it like Rock Band, but you're a DJ now.
Oh, okay.
DJ Hero?
Better than DJ Hero. DJ Hero's cool because you can scratch and all that stuff.
And the mixes were good.
The mixes were amazing. So think of it like this: if you were playing, if you were to break down a DJ mix, right? So you have the bass, the vocals, the drum line, and all the 5 parts to make a decent mix. It's a card game where you can put down the different cards you want to make the mix. So when I was playing, we had Down with the Sickness for the bass beat with Salt and Pepper Push It on top of it.
What?
And then we went over and did Evanescence vocals to back that.
Wow.
What?
Dude, that's fucking awesome.
So wait, can you mix it yourself?
You mix it yourself
Wow.
on the system. And it came in today from Amazon, so I was at home like, I got it. I finally got it. It's so good. I'm gonna play this all night long. And I remember I had to be here with you guys. So
Oh.
Sorry to drag you away from
if I would have, I would have brought it in for you guys to play.
Oh, man.
But it's going to be a new card game that you're going to love because all the cards are RFDI chipped. So
Oh, sick.
that's how they know
wow.
what you're playing. So
That's sick.
another one on top of it, it'll see if you're playing. And there's an actual game you can play with it where it's like get 21 points by knocking other guys' cards off and changing the mix all around and things like that. And it is, I promise you, this is going to be the game where everyone's like, why didn't they come out this before? Why didn't they have this before?
What systems can we expect it on?
It's a standalone system. It's for your
Oh, okay. It's its own
iPhone or Android phone.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
cool.
okay.
It's
Oh,
mobile.
okay.
Yeah,
So
awesome. Dope.
you download the app
Too
right now
portable.
and you just put it on and start playing. It is I'll bring it in next week for you guys to play it.
That sounds
Okay.
cool.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's rad.
That's actually really dope. Because that was always something about like going about DJ Hero was that it was all premixes. You know, you could have your fun with it and you get to play it and everything. But you're limited to what you can do.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
this sounds cool. This sounds like it might actually end up being a tool for some people too to make
Right?
some
Well,
simple beats.
I'm bringing it on the cruise I'm going on this weekend. It's a techno rage 72 hours of music straight cruise.
Uh-huh.
And I'm bringing this with me, and I'm going to see if I can get like an actual DJ set and start messing around with it like that and play with it and show people this is that cool of a game. The guy who created it, I talked to him while we were there, and he told me he took it to his sister's wedding, and they told the DJ to stop, and they started playing the game instead.
Oh wow.
They started having their own mixes instead. So yeah, Drop Mix, I swear to you, you can look up the YouTube of it, and you'll be like, oh my God, this is pretty damn cool. This is pretty damn nifty.
That sounds
Right, we're
rad.
gonna have you plug in your best mixes for the intro song next week or
Oh,
something.
definitely.
I think I might have one right now. So.
You just have one ready to go.
Shit.
Yeah, get that shit ready to go, and then we'll listen to that.
Okay.
Definitely.
Have you guys said you've been to anything recently that was cool that you want to talk about? I don't know, in the last any time.
Gaming wise, not recently.
We are the
Only
kind
kind
of
of
show.
game, yeah.
We're the kind of gaming show, so it's just
Kinda
cool shit.
gaming
You can
show.
talk about it, but
Like adult con. No.
it's all con. Yeah.
We got invited to that.
Actually, yeah, got
Invited?
invited.
Oh
Is
yeah.
that a
Didn't
thing
get
you
our
have to
free
have in-
tickets.
Oh.
A little sad, but it's cool. Things come and go. Last cool thing I got was like Nintendo tattoo.
Oh, you
which
have a
is,
tattoo.
Too many. But Nintendo got to brand that somewhere.
Nice. what have you? Let's just kick it off with what have you guys been playing lately? Like, what's your jam recently?
I've been stuck on Overwatch.
Oh yeah,
pretty much since it came out.
You're a trooper.
Super heavy.
Yeah,
Definitely.
There's like talking about
So
that.
good.
It makes sense because like a third of the player base of Overwatch actually shifted to PUBG.
PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Oh,
Yeah.
We got pulled out of Overwatch for that one.
Yeah, and then now
Shame.
Destiny 2 came out, and that's
I
pulling a ton of
know.
people in.
Haven't had a chance to really get onto Destiny 2, but still stuck in Overwatch. Next week is the Halloween event, which is gonna
Oh,
be
yeah,
great.
100%.
Yeah.
Buying too many loot boxes.
I got super lucky last year. My girlfriend got me the 24 box pack,
Oh, dude.
and then I was really wanting Mercy. And
Oh,
then
I
the
hate you,
last
dude.
box
I
I got
hate
her.
you,
For
dude.
Halloween?
Yeah, on the Halloween event. Yeah, I was like,
Jelly.
it was funny too because I have it recorded. I uploaded that video of me just going through it, and I'm like happy through it. I'm like, oh, but there's no Mercy, and I was like, I got enough gold to buy her, and then just fucking blew up on the last box because it was there.
Dude, the rage inside me is real. I seriously played straight the whole way through. Like,
Halloween. I
barely
did
got
on
up
that one.
to like eat or like do whatever. Didn't even sleep, and still didn't get the Mercy or the Junkrat skin. They were my mains,
Yeah.
and pretty salty. But I'm pretty sure we're gonna be able to get them for like 1,000.
Yeah, they
1,000,
lower it
something
to
like
normal price now.
that, right?
Wait, what?
Yeah,
No,
it's down
no,
to-
they're
Yeah,
free.
because for summer
Yeah,
games
the
they
summer games they did the same thing.
reopened
Everyone
the
from
skins
last
that
year.
you couldn't get, so
And they
it'll be
were
cool
what?
for all the
Yeah.
people that didn't get to play that kind of like jumped in late
Uh-huh.
and missed a couple events. Like our roommate jumped in after winter, but main's May and misses all of her skins and stuff like that. But you'll be able to get it at like half the price,
Huh, all right.
right?
Yeah, they
I don't
dropped
remember
all the
that.
previous
Super
skins
cool.
were dropped to the regular price for the gold. So
Right.
it so
And then like
Yeah.
they're popping up like even the what was it, Play Heroes of the Storm for however long, and you get Genji's Oni skin
Yeah.
and Diva's Cop
Again?
skin. Okay, well like it was that, and then I didn't end up playing and randomly got both of them in a loot box.
Yeah, 'cause
oh,
they-
oh,
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
because they added them. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
right?
console that couldn't play the
Yeah, there was an excuse that people didn't have computers. That's why they owned a console. And
Right.
They couldn't play.
right. Yeah,
Right.
this guy we did the Oni Genji and Police Officer Diva, but he just hates MOBAs. And
Yeah.
it was
He
like,
said he'd play it for me.
I'm not very big into MOBAs either.
They're fucking grueling, dude. Like, you spend 40 minutes just getting your ass stomped and don't learn anything about how to play the fucking game.
Get
like,
good.
Yeah, get good.
Shots fired.
I
Sorry.
haven't really played a MOBA since like the original Dota.
oh yeah,
oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
like,
I've never even touched Dota. I'm not even gonna try it ever.
it was fun.
Fuck that.
That's even more complicated. So it's even more of what you don't want.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
They
'cause-
had just like ridiculous heroes in that. Like they were just overpowered.
I was just unbalanced as hell.
Yeah.
Definitely.
By the way, I don't know how much Andrew told you guys about the show. You can say whatever the fuck you want.
I told
Oh,
him
yeah.
beforehand.
All right.
Bernard,
Wait.
do you ever have any experience with MOBAs?
No.
Have you have you looked at them and thought that looks like garbage, or you're like that's something?
That's something.
It's a game.
Here's what it is to me. Honestly, it is. It passed me by. I didn't get back into gaming in enough time to appreciate and want to get into those things. That's all. And I understand what they do, but the cool thing about them is they have the best cosplay at any event you go to.
That's
So
that's yeah,
true.
that-
Best cosplay at any event is from any MOBA. You go like, wow, what are you from? League of Legends. All right.
all right. It looks
Right.
dope.
Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Don't know anything else about it. Way to go.
Great costume.
Yeah, good job.
Speaking about cosplay, I feel like Overwatch has that like. There's amazing ones, but Overwatch probably has the most half-assed cosplay.
That
Oh,
too.
Def.
Oh yeah.
Def, dude. I'm secretly working, not secret anymore, but doing a Mercy cosplay,
nice.
but I'm building her wings, which is gonna
Oh,
be
cool.
super
Oh,
cool. I
awesome.
want to be like actually functional, like not
Oh,
flying,
deployable?
but yeah,
That's cool.
at least movable.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
but,
you don't see a lot of mercies with deployables, but Farah, some of the fucking Farah wings
Pharas are
are,
nuts.
are insane.
right.
I saw. Yeah, there was a dude Farah.
I saw that
Yeah.
at I was at Anime Expo.
and he had like everything on.
He
it.
had the best Farah cosplay of all the
Yeah.
Farahs I saw at AX. Like,
It's pretty funny. Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
it looked like the paint and like the craft of like his armor was all
Well,
like
I mean,
amazing.
if we end up getting in, other than doing interviews, if we end up getting into BlizzCon, we should do
Right.
cosplay.
Fuck yeah,
Let's do
absolutely.
it.
Do interviews in the Mercy cosplay.
Right?
Yeah,
Like
right.
have our
be
viewers
cool.
help make it too.
Yeah.
I
hell
don't know.
yeah,
There's people out there.
Right. That sounds like fun.
That'd be cool.
The whole team in cosplay. What would you
Right?
be, Miguel?
There's only one fucking Mexican guy, so
You should just cover your face. Yep.
yeah, right.
But yeah, man. What about you? You got his Overwatch game going on. Is he,
Well, I've been playing Overwatch too, but I actually just downloaded. I've been doing Let's Plays. I've been playing a lot of Amnesia the past couple
Oh, yeah, 'cause
days.
you're
and
doing
I
all
am
the, scary
mentally
stuff.
wrecked.
I was about to comment on that, and then I forgot why I turned my phone off, and then I was gonna say a scary game for me is Dead Space. That was.
Oh yeah,
that's
like
one
I
of my
made a post
favorites.
on Facebook and now it's just horror games because I'm trying to do Let's Plays every day of October of just like any horror game I can find. If I can find PT, like I'd love to
Oh,
play
yeah.
it.
Oh,
Don't you?
the
Do you
I,
have it
I
on
know
yours?
I know people that have it still installed on PS4s.
That would be awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
even just to do like a simple walkthrough. Would
Right,
be
but
cool,
dude, if that game
you
came
know?
to fruition, like I've never been scared by a game.
I've been
PT was
scared
unsettling as
watching
fuck.
walkthroughs. Yeah, not cool. I'm actually not a horror kid either, so it's kind of pushing myself.
She gets
Yeah, it's
I'm not a horror guy in the sense that it doesn't do anything to me usually. Like that's why I don't watch scary movies or stuff.
They're usually
And,
shit, right?
Yeah, it's like they're usually just bad. And there's some points where stuff is made good though, where it's just a good movie and it happens to be horror.
Like Insidious.
yeah,
Oh,
Insidious
yeah.
isn't even particularly
Yeah.
scary. It's not
Exactly.
scary as a horror film.
But
I
But-
feel,
it
more
has-
like almost thrillers kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
where it's like even psychological stuff. But like I've done like I do acting and SFX makeup and I even like just worked on something for Crypt TV and like still scary, you
Nice.
know? Like just gets your heart kind of jumping and like I'm not really scared playing Amnesia, but like it makes me really anxious. It's not cool.
Yeah, that's how Dead Space was for me.
Oh,
where
yeah.
it's like I'm not scared playing it, but there's a lot of
It's just
fuck,
like,
what's going on? Yeah.
run away.
Like you're
Fuck,
on the
I'm
edge, and
I'm not okay right now.
yeah, especially
that,
when you run out of ammo and all you've got is your little engineer pistol thing.
Oh, dude, I've been throwing like freaking boxes,
Yeah.
like an invisible monster, like shaking the walls and breaking things in the house. Like it's not a fun time, but it's worth it. Other than that, been playing Metal Gear. Phantom Pains was free on PlayStation
Oh, yeah.
Plus. It's
Actually,
really
Plus game
good.
this month.
Is that 5?
5, yes.
Because and
Metal
then
Gear
is
Solid 5.
Revengeance, Rising Revengeance 6? Because I played that.
No.
That's why they renamed the branding there. That's why it's Metal Gear Rising.
Okay.
It's not part of the
okay.
main series.
Just because it's like you're playing. Okay, yeah, that
Yeah,
makes sense.
it was originally going to be Metal Gear Solid Rising, and then that got canceled, and then they rebrought.
Well,
Metal
I mean,
Gear
it makes
Rising.
sense. You're playing on the opposite side.
Yeah.
Was it
So-
was it canceled or just rebranded?
It was canceled. It was actually canceled, and then it was rebrought. Like
Oh,
they
interesting.
booted it back up. It silently got canceled. Like everyone was like, "Is it gone? Is it not
What
coming out?" And then
happened?
yeah, they
Yeah.
brought it back as Metal Gear Rising.
Oh, okay,
And,
yeah.
yeah, that's actually why it went. Like, what is it that it was multi-plat, or that like it wasn't supposed to be, but then it became so.
Yeah.
And that's why.
Yeah, because I definitely played that on PC a while ago, and it was
Uh-huh.
great. But Phantom Pains has been pretty good. It's free on PlayStation Plus all month.
I'll finally
so-
play it now because I was boycotting that because of what they did to Kojima,
Yeah.
and I was like, I wasn't boycotting it to the point where I was like, I'm never gonna play it. I was like, I'll just buy it when they won't be making money off of it, like on a Steam sale or something.
I buy it
or
used.
how about you just
Yeah,
get it for
buy it
free
used.
when they don't make any money?
Exactly. That's what makes it even better. I was like, yeah, I'm
They
taking-
they are making money from PlayStation, but I don't think the amount of downloads or anything
Yeah,
affects that
it's
in any
not
way.
Right.
grossed by
That's what I'm saying.
versus
It's like, okay,
sales.
Konami can fucking eat a dick. So now it's all.
But the cutscenes are fantastic.
man.
Like half the time, even when you're zooming in on binoculars, like using Unreal Engine, like it looks like I'm sitting in a movie looking at real people, and it's kind of unsettling sometimes.
The funny thing you say that is it was from the Phantom Pain. I can't remember which news network. I think it was Fox. They used pictures from the Phantom Pain
Really?
in
Yes.
one of their stories.
The fucking kids in
yeah,
Africa.
the child soldiers
child
and everything
soldiers.
when they're
What the
holding
fuck?
AKs and everything. Yeah, they used some screenshots from Metal Gear Solid in their story, and like a lot of people were like, "That's Metal
That's
Gear
Metal
Solid.
Gear."
It's not Africa."
Wow,
Yeah.
nice.
Which is
Nice.
crazy because usually like hair gives that shit away.
Right.
The hair on those kids is fucking like insanely accurate.
Dude, for real, like even like when you're sitting there designing the face, like it gives you full 3D capabilities. Like you're syncing things in as if you're working on SolidWorks, and it's like
Right.
really unsettling.
Yeah. Speaking about
sometimes.
like perfect faces, that's something that we
You have a perfect face.
thank you. That's something that we missed last week because the trailer came out the next day / same day, but we were talking about other stuff. Is Red Dead Redemption 2?
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I
The
saw
reveal
that.
trailer. Like wow,
Right?
like the nuances on the faces. If you watch the Digital Foundry video where they like slow motion and show everything,
Oh, I think I only saw a
they've got
couple.
it down to like when he was like leaning in and talking to the kid. there's like slight wiggle of the like iris and everything,
Oh,
so that
that's
it
weird.
looks like I was watching. I was like, when I first saw the trailer, I was like, that looked really good, like too good. Like it didn't even have uncanny valley to it.
Super
just-
weird.
And when they slowed it down, it was like, yeah, his like cheek muscles twitched a little bit when he was like showing anger, and like I was like, how much did
That's
Rockstar put
crazy.
into this? And then this was all like they were able to deduce that what they were showing was in engine, like actually playing like with different camera angles.
Wow.
And they were like, yeah, we can tell this because here's some artifacting that usually happens with the Rage engine in the background. And I was like, that's what the game's looking like. That's
That's
what you're playing
insane.
with.
That's what I still want out of games, because it's like it seems like for a while graphics stopped mattering as much, and it was all about frame rates and getting a
Yeah.
game to run well. I can deal with 30 FPS if the game is fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, even me as a frame rate whore, like,
Dude,
playing-
yeah,
'cause-
if he drops
Yeah.
under 100, he's upset.
yeah,
When we're playing Overwatch
I
or
mean, there's
anything?
certain games
there are
though,
certain
that
games where
like
it's totally.
Oh, yeah.
I'm with
No,
you.
you're full of shit.
No, have you like okay? You guys play Quake? Have you ever
No.
done that? No, like
Nobody plays Quake. No, I'm kidding.
Quake's fucking amazing. Bernard, do you ever play Quake back in the day?
Long time ago, bro.
So like back in the day, like that's even still though, frame rates were a pretty big deal of how the reaction, like the time the rocket jumps perfectly. Like Counter Strike's very similar.
Yeah.
You need-
Smash.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Smash
it's
for
like,
sure.
Quake is one of the very few games where I actually brought it down to 60 FPS on my other monitor, and it actually bothered me. That's like the only game I think that I've ever been bothered by 60 FPS, and I need like above 120. And it was really funny because I thought, because you know that little monitor I have.
Well,
it's
your
like-
your main goes to 120, doesn't it?
my main goes to 144.
Oh, okay, never mind.
So, but I always like 120 is what I always say is like the happy minimal on stuff. And yeah, I know it
It's
sounds
kind
funny.
of outrageous, but yeah.
It sounds funny, yeah. That's why but like going back to like the whole 30 argument, Breath of the Wild was 30 FPS
okay.
and it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
I totally enjoyed it. There was like not a bother at all. There's a lot of games where it's not even any like Overwatch. I'm actually fine at 60 FPS down to like 45.
I know.
I'm fine.
I know you get mad.
Honestly,
if you dip
I
under.
can't anymore though. But I play on a really, really big screen now, and can't even play on like anything smaller than like a.
Oh, so
45.
so now you're
I'm
like, I
I'm
gotta
at a
take
65-inch screen, and I can see everything. So.
Yeah.
It sucks. You have to like get used to like. 'cause
Dude, I can't even go into like the living room with a 60-inch. I'm just like, dude, like, how do you see
Okay.
everything around the sides of you?
yeah, you're crazy
like-
finicky at that point. Jesus.
Honestly, go play on that screen.
No,
It'll
I
change your life.
have a 70-inch in my living
Oh yeah,
room.
it'll-
Going between that and the 40 that I have in my like hobby room, yeah, huge difference. But that's 30-inch difference. You're talking about 5 inches. You're
maybe it's just
insane.
the lighting. I don't know.
Oh, you're
It's
sitting farther away too.
also I've been playing on Overwatch on that for like over a year now.
Yeah.
See,
So-
that's
Yeah, you absolutely get used to it.
like you can
Very.
ask him. I'm like the exact opposite. My monitor is like about the size of this one, and it's like as long as I've got my frames, I'm sitting there. I like being able to see the whole thing without having to pan my head at all.
Yeah.
And then even my TV in the living room, it's not like super big. It's like,
Yeah,
it's just like a 43-inch or something like that.
Is it even that big?
It might not be. I think
Yeah.
it is. That's what I think. But either way, it's like my uncle's the same way as you though. He has this like 60 to 70-inch
Dude, it's
TV as a monitor,
fantastic.
and he's just in this giant, big couch of a chair.
I mean, playing Amnesia, I can find everything and like turn up the brightness super bright, and then like there's not a single problem, you know. It just makes everything so much easier.
But it's hard to find a distance to play at where you don't have to like turn your head too much. to,
True.
like,
True. I mean, like back in the day, I used to be sitting right up against it, and like now I'm definitely back up against the wall.
right? Yeah, it's
So-
like you got to have like a long. Fucking
I'm
room
pretty
to be
far
playing
back
that shit.
now.
You can't extend past your peripherals. Like,
Oh no!
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
at that point, it feels like you're inside Overwatch, and it's a little stressful.
Although VR is pretty
Jarring.
cool.
I
Yeah, it is
haven't
pretty
haven't gotten to see that yet, but
Oh,
like
really?
they did VR Overwatch, right?
I don't know.
I-
if they
it
did
was
or
for
not.
like a test thing or like
It might
not
have been a
Someone
test.
was
playing.
You can
Yeah.
you can map
But-
any game to be
Yeah.
VR via controls, but
I know they're having trouble with
They don't have
first-person
support
shooters
for
in
it.
VR
Yeah.
because a
That
crosshair.
makes sense.
Yeah, a crosshair doesn't really work in 3D.
what was it? Doom was like getting people fucking sick.
Oh yeah, Doom specifically was making people motion sick, so they had to
Oh.
make it teleportation
The
only.
new Doom?
The new Doom.
Well, yeah, dude,
Yeah,
the new
because
Doom
you're
is
fucking
freaking
fast and jumping and
yeah.
flying through the air and doing all that shit.
pretty
yeah.
You
hectic.
just gotta
The
adapt.
Fallout 4 though VR, they give you the option. They say like, okay, most people get sick. We recommend using teleportation, but if you're one of those few people who don't, you can walk.
Yeah.
Doom,
also,
they weren't having it.
controller. a controller for the camera augments that. Not augments. What's the word? Remedies. Because if
Oh,
you're in
yeah.
control of the camera with your
Yeah.
Well, it's
analog
not so
stick,
much
it's
just
like-
that. It's because when you're moving in the 3D space, your brain says, "Okay, you're moving," but then your body is not actually moving. So your brain goes, "Wait, the fuck?" Like, and the whole thing goes to shit, and that's what makes you motion sickness.
Dude,
Whereas if we have those walking stations, it remedies.
Oh
it
yeah, like
instantly.
Razer. Those things are fucking cool.
What if you put
Sounds like
VR
tight.
on in a sensory deprivation chamber? So you're just floating.
Right.
They're just floating.
I think that would fuck you
Yeah.
up even worse, actually. Because then it's like
Maybe.
there's all this motion going on, but I'm
Well,
just in
honestly,
space.
like if you could put it in, obviously you couldn't put yourself in a centrifuge, but like say like a 0G room, you know, and then yeah,
Well, it's kind of what the sensory deprivation chambers are for.
yeah,
You're
but I
supposed
mean
to,
like without liquid, you feel so
Oh.
like you're not actually sloshing around like
Yeah,
if you
right.
were to like actually move physically, you know, you would actually just float
Yeah.
around.
See,
with
at
padded
that,
walls,
at that point,
preferably.
yeah, you could end up making just a collar around your waist, and you can move freely, completely.
Yeah, right?
And you'd be
Like-
going for it, yeah. See, yeah, because I actually used one of those stations at the LA County Fair a few years ago,
Oh yeah.
and it worked. It totally doesn't make you sick or anything. Like we were running through a maze and like just collecting coins and whatnot. It was a tech
Sick.
demo mostly, but it
Still
was.
though.
It gave you the idea. But I played on PSVR, and I didn't get sick at all on that. But a lot of that is kind of stationary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, but it just looks cool. Like I wish like it would really take off because I think honestly, when people actually experience it, then they're like, "This is fucking cool." But it's one of those things that you have to experience to actually get the message by. Because if you don't see it and you just tell someone, "Yeah, VR," they're like, "Whatever."
I played what was that? Resident Evil.
Yeah.
In
Oh,
VR
yeah.
For the PSVR.
That
Biohazard.
was messed up
Um,
little demo.
but I feel like the graphics were clean enough for me to feel immersed.
I mean, it was.
Yeah, that is a little bit of an issue.
Oh,
And-
looking at horror games like that, though, like you have to like kind of give them some leeway, though, because I mean, like you've been watching me play Amnesia. Can you imagine that in like VR, where it's like it's
No, that would
almost
be, like super disorienting.
yeah,
in,
right.
like,
It's
a
almost
way.
drawn a little shittier to make it look, you know, like. And it was a demo, so like they've got a lot of room to work with, you
Yeah.
feel. But
I don't think that's a valid point though, because look at PT. PT's graphics like made that shit intimidating.
Yeah, the fact that it just looked photorealistic. while
Yeah.
you're, like looking at everything.
right,
Man, it really bums me out that they also made it unable to download on
Yeah.
PT.
Yeah, that they got rid
It's-
of it on the market.
Like especially because you could look at your marketplace downloads and it's there, and they're like, you can't.
Mhm. Yeah, I have it owned. I uninstalled
here.
it after I beat it though. I didn't know it was gonna go away.
Yeah, exactly. That's such a shame.
I didn't know they were gonna cancel
it's
that
okay,
shit.
it's okay, okay, it's
I know,
okay.
right?
It's not though.
But yeah,
All right, all right.
VR is something that I think it's still got a little ways to go. I feel like we need to have the full station
Mhm.
Yeah,
for it to work. It can't just be the goggles, because with just the goggles, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
even like
Yeah.
who is it that has the it's not Oculus Rift, it's the Vive that has the hand things.
Yeah.
Even adding those adds a huge layer of like immersion.
Right. Yeah, it's like you need like the whole.
so you're thinking like an exoskeleton suit sort of
No,
thing?
even just that Razer like walker
yeah.
thing, like
so-
that thing's
have you seen how the walker works?
Yeah.
It basically it goes around your waist,
Yeah, and it basically like holds you.
and it gives you frictionless shoes,
Mhm.
and they measure the
Is that what
movement.
that is? They're frictionless shoes.
Yeah, if you look at them, so they're.
Oh, I
they're
thought it
almost
was just the surface was like
No, they're kind of like golf cleats that you wear.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
it's like a very smooth surface, and then on the bottom it's almost like golf cleats, but instead of cleats, it's their little reverse hemispheres.
oh,
So
okay.
it's just rounded, and then those just slip. So if you aren't strapped in, you'll just fall.
You'll eat shit.
Yeah, you'll fucking eat shit. Like it is so
Watch
slippery.
too many people falling in VR videos.
Yeah, right.
Shit's great.
Oh man, I actually did that in one VR game.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like I was like, I'm gonna do this standing, and I was like, I know this is a mistake.
It's a bad idea.
And yeah, what ends up happening is you move a lot farther than you think you would. Like you're like, oh, I can contain it. I could stay within a 5-foot radius.
No.
And then you're kicking the fucking coffee table and like running
Smash
into
into
cords.
the TV.
Yeah, crush the PS4, something like that.
No.
That's like a lot of the PC ones. They've started making VR backpacks to put the whole
yeah,
PC on your
cool.
back. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, and then you can even get them battery powered, so you don't even have a cable running to you. So
Oh, super sick.
Pretty cool.
yeah, it's. I feel like that's really what it has to do because like they've been saying VR is going to be a thing for like since the 90s.
Years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, it'll happen just
Give us
like
something.
this
Don't
much
get
more.
too tired.
Even
Please.
longer than that. Like when did VR Troopers come out?
Oh, jeez, I don't know. I mean, there's the Virtual Boy too.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
failure. The console. It's funny though because Nintendo still is saying that like it wasn't meant to be a console; it was a toy.
Yeah.
They're like, don't count it as a failure against us. But
Just it was a toy.
so Miguel,
What up?
you've been lost in Destiny.
Oh yeah, this guy hasn't seen me in like other than this show in like a month.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I can handle the grind, I guess. Like a lot of people complain about it, but I like doing the like strikes and like the shit over and over again, like trying to find out better ways to do it and getting rewarded for it. Well, although with the weekly reset, you really don't get much. Like after a while, you get stuck. Like okay, I can't move up any further until next week because you get weekly rewards
Oh, okay.
for like the harder activities. I don't know if it's better than Destiny 1 or not, because like there's a lot of shit that got nerfed, like especially for PvP. Shotguns and sniper rifles are heavy weapons now,
Oh,
so you can't just run around with that.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
my
I
first
mean-
immediate bummer.
That's sniping is some people's like only method of fighting.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, I mean, but like, I used to be a sniper all the time. Like that
Yeah.
was just my thing, you know. Especially after playing Borderlands.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, totally, dude.
That was that entire
But
game.
there's so much more to be had at being like up in front contact, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So it kind of sucks not being able to run with heavy.
It's weird that it's shotguns and sniper rifles because like when I played Halo, it was shoddy snipe. Like,
Yeah.
that was my
Right.
kit. That's what I played. And
True.
so taking that, like you taking both and putting them into heavy weapons, it's like
Yeah, because that was like a fundamental part of Destiny 1's Crucible and like especially Trials of Osiris. Was you were either a shotgunner or a sniper. Those were the only options. Fusion rifles got nerfed after the first like month because they were overpowered, so those weren't an option anymore. So if you weren't up close and personal, you were sitting in the back of the map with a sniper, and it's like the primary weapons only mattered when you had to reload or if you ran out of ammo because special ammo was super limited anyway. But it's entirely different now. It's like all about primaries. They completely like re-geared how Crucible works, especially because. So did you guys play Destiny 1?
Played it a little bit.
Little bit.
Bernard's like just shaking his head.
Like
no.
everybody. Yeah.
Oh man, I loved it though. I love those like
It was good
couple
gameplay.
hours I played.
Couple hours.
You know what's funny? That's
It's
I
fantastic.
mentioned this. I think I mentioned this on this station. I don't even know, but I was playing Destiny, and then my girlfriend really liked it, and she just stole it, and
Rude.
she played it the whole way through. Like, and then it was funny. That's I think the only game that I've seen someone play, and she had 70 something hours or more into it, and then says she fucking hated it, but she still played the shit out of it.
Wow.
Wow.
She's like, I hate this game, but she's like at the same time
But
loved
I
it.
still love it. Can't stop playing it.
Yeah, Brenda, she was actually looking at
Is she gonna get 2?
specifically because of the shaders, what they changed.
Oh, she's not gonna get it
She's
because the
not getting
shaders
it
are
because of the
consumable.
shaders,
That's
yeah.
stupid. You get them. You get them all the time. I already have too many shaders. I had to throw some in my vault.
What happened?
They made it
So-
because it used to be you have a whole collection of shaders.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
that
then-
shader can go onto your whole armor set.
Yeah, it chooses your whole armor set and it's reusable. So you're like, I want to play all white this round, and then you change yourself to all pink like the next round, and you can go back to white, whatever. Now they're consumable and they only do 3 sets of armor
Oh wow.
or 3 pieces of
No.
armor. Is it how
No,
many?
all you can dye everything now, but they're consumable.
They only
So
use
you have to
2.
have enough to cover
No,
your.
I'm saying the thing itself. Does it only do 1 at a time? Each one only works for 1.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah.
That's
Oh,
yeah. So
okay.
you have to have a shader for your helmet, your chest piece, your arms, your boots, and your.
So you need
Class
Definitely
item.
a chick thing to stop playing a game for
Yeah.
and not
The-
playing.
the-
But
vanity.
also, it adds more variety. You can mix and match shaders now, because before
Okay.
you were stuck with that shader.
Yeah.
It's kind
Like
of cool.
if you were doing bitter steel or whatever the fuck, it was like okay, you're all silver, you can't do
Alright.
anything else. But now you can put like bitter steel on your chest and like gold on your arms if you wanted.
It's kind of cool. I mean,
Yeah.
more customizable, but
But the consumable thing,
less
when you use it on an armor
available.
piece,
Yeah,
it's gone.
Yeah.
That one instance of that shader is gone. You have to get more.
Yeah.
So you want to save them for your like when you're like end game. This is the gear I'm using now.
Gotcha.
So it's a bummer. It's a
Yeah.
bit of a bummer.
So,
Hmm.
other cool things this week. was the Super Nintendo came out, the classic.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Bernard, you wanted to chime in on this. We did do our top 5 SNES games 2 weeks ago, but you weren't here. You can tell your little bits on it and what you like about it.
Buy a Raspberry Pi, get all the games. Fuck 20.
Wow.
You know, like
That's a bit of a point.
yeah, the Raspberry Pi, it's definitely something. It's, you know,
Listen, dude, I'm okay with it. Considering that's the golden era of gaming to me, honestly. The Super Nintendo is the best system you can find for money, but I just think it's a little sad the games they picked. You know, let me double check, make sure I'm not talking out my ass here.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So the thing about the system, it is missing some key games. It's missing Chrono Trigger. It's missing Turtles in Time.
Fuck.
Yeah,
You took out Chrono Trigger?
It's
How?
missing-
Why?
Exactly. It's like,
Like,
how the fuck do you miss that?
Okay.
But it's like
Well, it's
My
Nintendo.
heart.
That's how.
before we start talking about how awesome the games are that are not on
I'm
there.
sorry.
It's like the games that are on there, they don't seem like they should be replaced. You know, it's like
Yeah.
they're all. I
Except
mean,
maybe Super Punch Out.
that's the one he brought up was Super Punch Out, and it's like
Ah.
I
Who gives a
kind
shit
of
about Super Punch
Yeah,
Out?
I-
Super Punch Out's amazing.
it's
But
fucking great.
wouldn't you rather play normal, like
No.
original? No, really?
No. Super Punch Out's amazing.
It has a lot more skill based into it. That was one.
Way more.
I personally do play the original Punch Out more than I play Super Punch Out.
Okay, let's go through the
Because-
games. I got them right now.
Cool.
Super Mario World,
Yep.
Mario Kart,
Mhm.
Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past,
All good.
Good shit.
F-Zero,
Fantastic. It's my
Super
favorite.
Metroid,
Yeah.
Yep.
Mega Man X,
That's
Nice.
his favorite.
Donkey Kong Country,
That's my second favorite.
Castlevania 4,
Yeah.
Super Punch Out.
Say there's a
He looked at me.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
Stare you right in the eyes.
Street Fighter 2 Turbo,
Hell yeah.
Kirby Superstar, Final Fantasy 6 or 3, however nerdy you are.
Yeah.
All of it.
Kirby's Dream Course could be taken out.
No,
That-
fuck you.
no, you.
We got a lot to
Why?
fight
Dude,
about,
dude,
Bernard.
first you and your bakers, now this crap.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say we got a lot to fight
Oh
about,
my
Bernard.
god,
See,
Dude, have you tried Kirby's Dream Course?
no!
It's so fun.
I'm an adult. No,
It's
No,
so
it's-
fun.
Play it.
I will play. I'll play. What about what's the unicycle one?
Unicycle?
Uniracers.
Uniracers.
But-
that could be there.
You know why Uniracers wasn't there? It's because Pixar fucking sued Nintendo for it.
It's
Oh, that's,
Back in the day, that
wow,
happened.
that's surprising.
Uniracers
And they-
over that.
And they
Dude,
won.
you got to play it. Me and Connor both got Super Nintendo Classics. We'll bring it in. We can play Kirby's Dream Course. You'll have fun. I
It's
swear
actually
to you.
a good. It's
It's
actually
so
good.
fun.
I was gonna mention that people will say Kirby's Dream Course, and it's funny that you brought it up. Almost every like list or like online, people talking about it, they're like, okay, a lot of people are gonna say Kirby's Dream Course because they haven't played it, but it's just it's fun. It's charming. Everything.
Oh,
like
okay,
that,
okay.
you know?
I'll get. Okay.
It's mini golf with Kirby, and like you have his powers and shit. It's
Yeah, you
fun.
have the superpowers. It's basically it's isometric mini golf. That's really what it comes down to. But there's the powers. There's the Kirby element to it. There's the competition between the players.
Okay, everybody in the room, question:
What was that?
Kirby's Dream Course or Chrono
Or
Trigger?
Chrono Trigger. Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
I never played Chrono Trigger. I don't know.
Get out this room now.
For real, dude.
Leave.
Andrew
My
hasn't
roommate
played Chrono
just
Trigger.
started.
Yeah, you can't
watching
come
the
back,
anime.
Andrew.
Chrono,
Okay.
like that was the biggest disappointment to me. But go on.
Star Fox.
Mm.
Star Fox 2 also.
Yeah,
That's
never
cool.
released. Yeah,
Unreleased.
That was cool. Yoshi's Island,
I
which,
love that
which
game.
is a great game.
yeah.
Super Mario RPG, Contra 3, Secret of Mana,
That's super fun.
Good
Earthbound,
Earth,
game. Earth.
Earth,
Earthbound,
and Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
the hardest fucking game on Super
think I
Nintendo.
still have
actually
that.
is good.
Damn.
Pretty
So
sure I
many
still have
hours
that.
playing
Like,
that as a child.
But it is a solid list, right?
yeah.
What do you think, Bernard?
I think it's a good list, but you know, I was looking for Legend of the Mystical Ninja. That was my game.
Oh yeah.
See, yeah, he's still like Raspberry Pi. Like, get all the
yeah,
games.
just do that.
I mean, it is
No, if
like it is okay. I thought this was funny. Miguel was like, "What the fuck? Hackers are crazy," because it's already about to be hacked. The guy who made it's called Hackchi.
Dude, yeah, it was like the next
Yeah.
day. He's like, they figured it out.
Yeah, the guy like the night that the SNES Classic came out last Friday, he already had the ability to dump the games off of it, put them online. So Star Fox 2 is
Wow.
playable on SNEX 9X on computer. And then on Sunday he had Chrono Trigger playable on it. And then
Sick.
he's like, okay, it's gonna be done this week. And he's like, I'm just not ready to put it out there because I don't want people bricking their consoles. So it's literally to the point where you turn the program on, drop whatever you want, it uploads it. I don't even think you have to look for the cover art. You can put your own if you want to, but you can just press add cover art. It'll Google image search and throw cover art on there.
Sick.
Yeah, so you get the whole UI. You know, that's one of the big things about the SNES Classic. The GUI is just really clean, and
Okay.
it's like it has the covers. It slides up, shows like their name, dates, and all that stuff,
Sick.
and it adds all that. So if you really hating that some games are missing, like for me, it was Chrono Trigger, Turtles in Time, Harvest Moon were like the big three that it was missing for me. Yeah, he's like, yep. those were the big three.
What about ActRaiser?
ActRaiser is a huge one. I already had.
That was
See,
on your list, huh?
I was tempted to not hack it. I was like, oh, I want to keep it pure.
No,
And
you
then-
don't.
And I
No,
was
you
like,
don't.
no, I'm making this a top 50 machine. And ActRaiser's there. Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3, which was the weirdest ones to me. Like, I know it's rare, but
It's kind of weird because like they had Final Fantasies 1 and 2, for example, on the
Right.
NES Classic.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
So it's like they're not averse to putting sequels.
right. And they also
Well, here's my question
there's
about
two
it too.
Kirby's.
Why they choose the Street Fighter Turbo instead of doing Super Street
instead
Fighter?
of Super Street Fighter.
Yeah.
You know?
Now, here was their weird reasoning as to why. Because if you buy the Japanese version, it has Super Street Fighter on it with Cammy and the rest of the gang.
Cammy, Fei Long, T-Hawk, and DJ.
Yeah. So they are on the Japanese version. But apparently Turbo Street Fighter sold better in the US and in Europe. So the Western market, they're like, okay, this is the one that sold better. This is the one that people remember more. So they put that one on there. And then I'm just like, why the fuck can't I play Cammy?
Well, and here's another one. Why no Mario All Stars?
Yeah, that one I thought was really weird too. I don't know the reasoning behind it because if they wanted to say, oh, they had Mario 1, 2, and 3 on the NES Classic, it's like, okay, well, no one fucking got an NES Classic. Like,
All right.
myself and like
right.
3 others got it. And then,
You know,
So-
3 other people that got it.
yeah, right.
Damn.
Actually, Jasmine has it, so that's one.
Yeah. That's,
And her brother.
I think they were selling it on Wish for a minute for like $27 or something like that. I'm
Really?
dead serious.
On
I'm
Wish?
looking
It-
it up.
it had to be a
right
fake one.
now.
Because there were so many bootlegs. Of
Oh,
the
yeah?
Yeah, like
Ah,
people were
that sucks.
cranking out boots of that.
Super glad I
But-
didn't buy it.
See, the other thing
'Cause I was
that
like,
I
no way.
that I like about the classic systems over Raspberry Pi is the input is a lot cleaner.
Yeah.
Like because you can get USB controllers that do work just fine. It's like a grind to fucking find the good ones though, because like you buy one, and it's like this one sucks. You buy another one, like oh this is good, and then it dies a week later,
Damn.
and you're just like can't get a controller that fucking works.
Yeah.
Whereas this, it's out the box. They work perfectly.
Perfect.
So yeah.
Breath of
Awesome.
Fire.
Breath of Fire, especially 2. Breath of Fire 2. That was one that's on my list. Fucking didn't have as many endings as Chrono Trigger, but it had an ending where everyone dies. That's a fun one.
wow, damn.
Yeah, and you watch them die in front of you.
That's
Well,
cool.
that hurts.
Yeah, that's the bad endings. It's like it's also 20 years
Fire Emblem
more.
much?
So spoiler warning. But yeah.
Fuck, Connor, I was gonna play.
Earthworm Jim.
Ah.
Yeah, that's on my list.
That hadn't occurred to me. Shit.
You know, that's actually the guy who was supposed to be here tonight.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the guest. He'll be here next week, I guess. Whatever Andrew has lined up.
I don't know.
I'm not sure how it works out because there's
we're talking
another.
about having Creparian next week, I think.
Right, it's like we had. So I don't know. Maybe he'll show up at some point. But he was actually one of the.
Maybe we'll split the show between them.
You're
'cause
right.
Creparian is
Was he-
only doing the latter half, I think.
Was he lead designer or coder? I know he helped coding on Earthworm Jim. I don't know if he full on was like.
I forget.
He
honestly.
worked on Earthworm Jim though, so the guy who was supposed to
Yeah,
be. So
that's
that
right,
was
that's
like
cool.
that was a cool shit.
It's super cool.
Yeah, it's an interesting. I like how it came with 2 controllers though instead of 1.
Yeah, that's very convenient.
nice.
Especially with
Yeah.
all the 2-player games on there. Like, it would have been a bummer to be like, oh, now I have to acquire another fucking controller.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Could be
because
pretty nasty, you know. Hey.
last time Nintendo didn't make any.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't buy controllers from them. You had to buy the third party. Like they did make them.
They were
but
gone.
They were gone.
Yeah.
Like the cheapest one you can get right now is an Italian one for like $60.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
Yeah. For
You have
some
to-
reason, the Italian ones were the cheaper.
And you have to fight a soccer mom for it.
Yeah,
Yeah, for real.
exactly. So I don't know. It's a weird thing, like just with Nintendo in general.
Yeah, they're really bad at hardware accessories. Like,
Yeah.
Really bad. I remember most of my friends it took them like a year to find the what was that, the GameCube adapter for the Wii U.
Oh,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
that shit
that's
was
right.
gone.
Yeah,
That was impossible
that
to
was
acquire.
stupid. That was like hard to find too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
Man, it was just an adapter.
and
fuck.
it's like, and everyone wanted it because who the fuck wants
Who
to
the
play?
fuck
Like,
wants to play with a
you're not-
fucking
I'm not gonna play with a
gamepad and
gamepad or with a
Yeah.
Pro controller.
it's like I'm cool. I'm cool with the Wii remote nunchuck combo.
Hey.
Yeah, that's what I
I
got.
got the Pro controller.
I got
so
down to
I feel
that,
it.
and it's like, and then,
Good
but
old-
who the fuck wants to play with the Wii U gamepad like
No
for a
one.
fighting game? It's
That's
just,
like, hey, you've never played this before, so like, jump in with
Yeah, you
us.
can play-
yeah, it's like there
Sorry.
you go. We didn't have anything else. Like it's like I liked the Wii U gamepad. I like the Switch. It's like Switch is.
Can't you still?
everything.
What does Jeremy play with? Is DS right?
You can
Yeah,
use
you can
just the
play-
nunchuck,
Really?
or not the nunchuck. Sorry,
The-
just
the
the Wii
Wii
remote. Yeah,
I'm
and my buddy
sorry,
Angel does that. He plays with just the Wii remote.
Fucking hell! Like
weird
fucking
as shit.
what was that?
Are you making a face at just using the Wii remote there, or is that something else you saw?
No, just yawning.
Oh, okay.
Smash.
I thought you were
what
looking
was
like, what
Smash
the
for the
fuck?
Wii? Brawl.
Brawl, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. The Wiimote and the nunchuck.
Yeah, that's how I rolled. It was both of those.
Same.
GameCube controller forever.
We didn't have
the
it-
GameCube controller, in my opinion, is like seriously the best controller. I think it's like
Yeah,
the most
right. It's so
ergonomic.
durable.
Yeah, I think if they're gonna update it, they need to put the pressure sensitive L2 R2 deal, and then make the Z2.
Yeah.
But it's like comfort wise, I really liked it. What's your opinion on that?
I
thing?
didn't like the face buttons.
Oh, the layout with
Yeah.
A right in the center and then a circular.
Yeah,
motion?
tiny B.
I always switch
uh,
my controls to tilt, so it usually doesn't matter.
I feel like the Y button, X and Y button weren't utilized that much in
They're hard to
a lot
reach.
of. Yeah, they're hard to reach, but they weren't utilized that much.
You
in
know they're hard to
games.
reach.
I don't think they
Well,
were.
I mean, like
'Cause you could rock
they're
your
they're
phone
up
to
there,
them.
but
It was-
like
For me,
you
it was
kind of
like,
gotta like.
it pivots. That's what I liked about it. It was like
Yeah.
if you centralized your
Yeah.
your finger on A or your thumb, I mean, on A, you could just like push any of them from.
Yeah,
there.
I feel it.
Whereas on like a PlayStation, you go from X to.
I'm
triangle.
definitely a stick player though, so that's probably my problem
I feel
Oh
like,
yeah, Smash Bros specifically. Yeah.
all the way.
it's
whenever
like-
I would reach for like Y, I would hit A or B as well. Like I
Yeah,
would hit
they-
multiple buttons.
They're not distinguished enough, right? Like they were accessory buttons to the A button.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, B was definitely easy to hit.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
Al-
its own little circle
Also,
up
they're
the
like
side.
kind of thinner, whereas with the 64 controller, the C buttons are like thicker. You feel
Oh, yeah.
like, like you wouldn't press two of those at the same time
That's
versus
true.
just like you would with the X and Y on a GameCube.
Bernard, you got input on controllers?
The Xbox 360 controller is the best controller ever.
No,
360. Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
360 is better than the Xbox.
not
One.
even. Not even. The battery packs always broke off, and then you had to like put batteries inside of them.
I don't know about you,
What
but
the fuck were you doing to your controllers?
Nerd
I'm
rage.
just-
Yeah,
Nerd
I-
rage. I'm playing with a
She's
lot
like
of people. Okay.
you walk in her house, there's like a controller stuck in the ceiling, like from just fuck.
We should
My
put
problem was
controllers
with
in
the-
ceiling or fake ones.
Like fucking pencils.
Just make them fucking
okay.
light fixtures or something.
Mhm.
Put LEDs in 'em.
That'd be kind of cool,
That'd be
actually. Like
sick as
broken
fuck.
controllers stuck
Yeah,
to the
dude.
walls and shit.
What's everyone's opinion of the Duke,
Oh,
the original Xbox controller?
Oh
Uh,
god.
no.
My hands
The
are
Dumb.
hamburger?
The
I have
huge
four older
one.
brothers and
Yeah.
grew up with
I guess
like
you could
all of
call
them
it
playing
hamburger.
Halo like that.
It was that huge one, like because
was
they had the
always-
giant one, and then
With
they
the
made-
white and black button? Yeah.
Yeah. There's a company remaking it.
Why?
Why?
It's gonna be because some
Andy
people
can
are just
only play
love
with
it.
that.
That's like playing
I've
with
got
a slime
friends who can
controller.
only play with that.
Oh yeah, dude, that thing looks so unwieldy.
Yeah.
Have you seen the
I
slime
had one.
controller?
So which one?
The slime controller.
The
think so.
Dragon Quest slime.
Oh yeah.
What? That's
Yeah,
awesome.
It's let me pull it up for you guys real quick here. You go ahead and talk about something while I do a Google
Xbox should have
search.
marketed the Duke with Shaq. Like, you know how they, what was it Mercedes
totally
or
should've.
Cadillac did the one where he's like, he has all this legroom and shit and he hops out of the car?
It's
The
like-
Xbox should have been like,
Dude, and it would have worked because it would have
It would've looked normal.
in
It would have
his
looked
hands.
small as fuck in his hands, dude. Yeah, my brothers always used it, and I had to beg my parents to go buy small ones because I couldn't play Halo with them because the buttons are too far apart.
There it is. There's
oh
the
yeah,
slime
just the
controller
slime
right
upside
there.
down.
So weird.
Yeah,
He's
you just have,
touching on his goodies.
you
Oh
Why?
man.
yeah, you have him chilling on your
Touch his
stand like
button.
this, and then you just pick it up, and you got this ball. It's I don't know how. Like,
I don't know. That looks pretty great to me.
I just feel like playing with it would be so difficult.
If you're playing Dragon Quest, it doesn't matter.
Right?
Yeah, Dragon Quest. Any RPG really doesn't matter a whole lot, but if you were,
Well,
imagine someone playing a fighting game with that though.
well,
I mean, turn-based RPG.
yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say. I
Playing.
don't know.
I don't know how well I do at Dark Souls with that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Sounds pretty bad.
So, like if you were playing Final Fantasy
That's what I'm gonna
7
do.
with that.
So I'm gonna get back into. So I'm gonna
yeah,
get back
that
into
would
streaming.
work.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be
Playing with the
frustrating,
Yeah,
but it'd work.
I don't know. Like it just seems like it's so
It just
wonky
looks like an
old.
item to throw, to be honest.
Oh, that's
Not-
got that spike there. So
Right?
you
It
hit
looks like it
someone
would be
with
plushy.
It's
right?
not.
Like I
It's
thought
not. It's hard
the
plastic.
second one was a plushie.
Oh yeah,
It totally looks like one.
it looks like it would be one. Yeah, but it's not squishy or anything.
There's
It's
some like little
hard
me,
plastic.
a me.
That is an interesting controller.
I was reminded because I mentioned Dark
Didn't
Souls.
PlayStation or Sony make a phone that was
phone-
like also
Yes.
a controller?
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah.
Xperia
Xperia Play.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. I used
It was
to
like
take
the-
those apart.
It was like the
Work.
PSP Go. You just click it up and then it had all the controls underneath.
I remember I
The
took one
worst
apart one day
iteration.
and I was like, wait, is this like a controller? What am I like? This isn't a phone pin. What?
Oh yeah,
It looked pretty cool though.
yeah. It's like one of the people still try to buy that phone because of emulators.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, even though it's like it is dated now, so it totally doesn't. It's not fast. It like doesn't run apps very well.
But it's the same reason people go for the old school PSPs
Yeah, exactly.
because it runs those old ones just
Oh,
fine.
dude, I played so many emulators or emulated games on my PSP. That was
Right.
like the only thing I used it for.
I think that's what
Yeah.
most people did with their PSP.
Yeah.
Like,
That was,
just-
yeah, that was like my first exposure to like hacks. Was like dudes just had every fucking PSP game. I was like,
As far as owning
free.
PSPs go, it's like it seemed like everyone pirated the fuck out of everything on the PSP,
mhm.
and then at least at my school, fucking everyone threw porn on it.
That makes
Wow.
sense. Yeah.
It was like the porn station portable at that point. It was pretty.
I feel
funny.
like you could have played on that a little better.
Fuck it.
PlayStation Portable.
Oh, there you go.
Punny.
Punny.
That's never mind.
What do you think?
Yeah, I do. Anyway,
Great.
I remembered because I mentioned Dark Souls and also this. It's still on screen. Somebody beat the first two bosses of Dark Souls 1 and 2 with one controller receiving input at the same time. He was playing both
What?
games simultaneously with
Oh.
one controller and beat both of the first bosses at the same time.
That's awesome.
That's
Is there a
fucking
video?
insane.
Maybe-
Like, it's-
There's
Never
got to be,
walked
right? I
off
think he
an
was a
edge.
streamer.
Dude, let me.
Probably didn't. He probably plotted like when he could put in certain inputs.
Dude, I saw someone play Dark Souls 2 with Donkey Konga drums.
Oh, that's
What?
awesome. I didn't see that one.
Successfully?
Yeah, they beat
Sweet.
Smog and Ornstein with it.
No way.
That's
Impressive.
Or
number one.
Yeah, they did one, and then they also did 2 later. I think
Ah.
he speed ran 2 with it.
Holy shit.
Is what it was. Like originally he did 1, and then it was like, okay, now I'm gonna speed run 2 with these Donkey Kong Konga
Guy
drums.
beats Dark Souls with bananas, guitar, drums.
Bananas are my favorite. They'll wire
Yeah.
bananas up
What
to
are these
inputs.
Yeah.
videos?
They're like squishy. It's just real bananas.
It's bananas because they conduct electricity.
It's just
They
like a
wire
makey
'em up.
makey kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
cool.
he just
Sick.
Sticks the wires in it and everything. Yeah, and they're
That's dope.
conductive.
It's also
Yeah.
to play Winston with bananas.
With
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna mention
Yeah, that dude
too,
does a
but-
lot of them. He played McCree with a Nerf gun.
What? How? How does
He
that
wired
work?
up the trigger and shit so he could like play it and it like had a sensor.
Sick.
So he was like turning the camera with it.
Have you seen the video of the guy who I don't know how the fuck they work, but I think it's
Did
like
we just get air conditioning?
Sounds
a
like-
camera that
feels like
tracks
it
your
did.
eye movement and that moves your cursor.
Yes, I have seen something like that.
That's what they're working on VR too, like we mentioned earlier, and that's what they want to make it work well is with your eye movement.
That shit's so crazy. Like you don't miss.
Yeah, yeah. There was the guy was tracking his eye movement in Overwatch to like
Mhm.
see how he aims. That's pretty cool.
I want VR to work.
Oh my god, he's doing it.
Were
Would you-
Watching
It's
him-
working.
Watching him.
Yeah.
Which one is that specifically?
Dark Souls 1 and 2 with one controller.
Oh, the one controller
One
guy.
controller.
Yeah.
Dude, that just seems bizarre. Like when I saw that like a while back. When did it happen? Like
This was just a couple weeks ago.
this was just okay. So I saw that when he did that one, like at least when they were talking about it, and I was like, how the fuck do you play both games at once? Like there's different turns and shit. Like is he walking into corners for half the time at some points? Or
Well,
Someone
he
beat the
kind of
first three
is like
Mega Mans that
swiping
way.
randomly
Oh,
in the
God.
air sometimes.
that seems
but-
harder. The first 3 Mega Mans, he said.
I don't know if actually it might not have been the first two, but there were 3 Mega Man titles. Oh no, it was X 1 and 2, and one other one. What's the next 3?
Oh crap! I'll look it up.
Dude, that seems way harder.
Yeah, he beat
Because
3
Mega
of
Man
them.
has so much timing jump puzzles.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
The fuck?
How do you?
If it's all just on the same timer,
Bernard, what's your input on that? Dude beat 3 Mega Mans at the same time with the same controller.
Get a girlfriend.
True.
There's no time for that.
We're getting close to the break
Sorry,
time for
ladies.
the first
Easter egg
hour.
time.
What are we looking at? We're about to. Should we cut in here? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and take into the break time.
Did you get some of your drop beat mixes? Oh hell yeah!
Hell yeah!
Is this one? Nice.
Dank.
I don't know what any of this is.
We'll be back.
Yeah. All right. So right now the feed is still live on YouTube, but we can go to the bathroom and do whatever you want at this point. It's 2-minute break, and then we come back and we will talk about what do you guys want to do for the next one?
What's coming up in game news?
Because okay, so like what we were doing before is we were doing our top games for like systems, and we were going through the history. Like we started at NES, then we went to Genesis, then we went to Super Nintendo, and it's like PlayStation is next in line.
I have 5 games picked out for PlayStation
You have 5?
already. Yeah, I prepped.
This guy never played PlayStation.
Huh? No.
Yes.
I actually only played 6 games. So. It was seriously
So it's
so
easy.
I had to look it up on Google. But I have games prepped.
So here's one of the mixes I've made.
Freaking sick. I'm sorry, I'm a DJ and a musician, so like seeing that is like a lot cooler. Like can I show you something?
favorite game now that I bought, and I'm not stopping this ever.
Bad.
Do you like DMX?
You have the Moto Z as well. Is it the Play or
The cheap one.
you know, it's the cheap one, but it has a headphone jack.
Yeah.
That's
So,
so
so
much.
Oh yeah.
Call me Jeff.
Call me maybe.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna sit outside for a second.
Can you think of 5 PlayStation games that you've played at all that have been reported?
I've never actually like played. Oh, been ported.
Yeah, even ported would be okay.
Fucking, which ones were? Which Final Fantasies were on it?
7, 8, 9.
Shit. Nope. Haven't played any of those. What's this one? I thought Super Monkey Ball, but that wasn't actually on PlayStation. What the fuck did I play that on? It must have been GameCube.
I don't know if you guys like Rick and Morty at all.
Yeah. That was a good scene.
Yeah, did you guys see all the latest shit?
I have not yet.
Have you?
Yes. Good
Check this
stuff.
out. I design hat pins and shit. Hat pins, so
nice.
like those little lapel pins, and I just sent in designs for Simba.
Awesome. Nice.
Yeah, right? It's gonna be sick. And then made Szechuan. Yeah, right? Made Szechuan sauce pins after the first drop.
We're gonna miss out on the Szechuan sauce.
Oh yeah.
It's tomorrow, right?
My best friend was actually kind of pissed at me.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, don't worry about it.
I'm gonna try
Just
to get
grab
it
me
after
some.
class, but
Yeah, right.
it's like one for-
Okay, guys, we're coming to another drop mix beat that I found on YouTube.
Say some motherfucker.
What's up?
We're coming to another drop mix beat that I found on YouTube. It'd be over.
Can you close that door, babe?
You can leave it open if you want the wind to blow through.
That's true. There's nothing else going on in the studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and leave it.
Oh, okay.
Leave it open. It's all good.
I thought it might have caused like some sort of echo bullshit.
No,
going
no,
on at
you're
all.
good. So we're gonna have I got 30 seconds all clear, and you'll be coming in a drop mix beat. Okay.
All right.
So let's let it play.
There's bad radio, good radio, and chaotic radio. In that order.
So that is Bruno Mars, LMFAO, The Weeknd, and Run DMC from Drop Mix.
Dude, that's fucking
Fucking
awesome.
cool.
It's
Drop
run at
Mix.
107 beats per minute in F minor. That's what it tells you.
Nice. What's up, everybody? Kind of gaming show back for round 2, and I guess we will bring it up to PlayStation because we were going through the history. The sad part though is Mikkel didn't play PlayStation.
I did not have one.
Yeah, he didn't have one, and then the games that he thought he had played for PlayStation actually were not on PlayStation. It was pretty funny, like going through them.
I've watched someone play Jumpin' Flash.
Oh yeah,
It looks funny.
Dude, I'm in the same boat as you. I never played PlayStation.
yeah. Like here's something I was saying. Like, okay, so you didn't play PlayStation, but are there games that were re-released / remade that you played that were originally on PlayStation?
I'm not really sure.
Ooh,
I
that's a
was
good question.
like a really diehard Nintendo fanboy
Uh-huh.
up and through high school. So PS4 is the first Sony console I've ever owned, other than a PSP, which we already discussed.
That reminds me, actually, I played Metal Gear Solid on your.
That's
Good
right. You played
game.
on PSP Go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like the one person that I have not met another person who has a PSP Go.
I knew one guy in high school that had one.
Yeah.
What's the
I will-
difference?
It's all digital. There's no
Oh,
UMD
cool.
drive.
Sick.
It's pretty small. It's like this big, and then it slides up to reveal the
Oh, what?
controls.
It's basically that the
phone.
Xperia Play before
Yeah.
smartphones.
There's no
were a thing.
touchscreen on it though, so it's like
So-
it feels really weird when you pick it up nowadays because everything has touchscreens. And it's like if you have a regular PSP, you're like, okay, this is fine. Nothing has touchscreens all the time. But if you pick up the PSP Go, you just want there to be
You
a
expect it?
touchscreen.
Yeah. Okay.
It just seems like,
Makes
especially
sense.
because you can close it and just have the screen there.
Yeah.
Like if
That
you're
came out-
watching a movie or anything.
That was like 2008.
That came out in 2009 because
Nine.
I got it. I got it as the replacement for my PSP that burned in the house fire that I had in 2009, and it was like, I was like, okay, well, I'll get this. It's a cool new little system, and it'll
Yeah.
be neat. And I was kind of bummed though because it's like, you can't. The store does not have everything that the PSP library has as UMDs, and then it's like, all right, you're fucked. You can't play everything.
Makes sense.
But I guess we'll go ahead and go through favorites ish. We'll just talk about the PlayStation.
Ish. Okay.
Yeah, favorites ish because we don't have a solid. Oh, what's your fifth favorite game? What's this? What's that?
I listed
Um,
mine.
You have your list. I have a list too.
Sick.
So,
We're prepared.
like, I guess I'll just kick it off here. Final Fantasy VII was
Definitely
probably
on my list.
I'd go as I'd go with the fifth on mine. And it's funny because, like you mentioned, you were a Nintendo fanboy. You can kind of see that with me too. Like I played more Nintendo, although I played the PlayStation a lot because for some reason, hey, there we go, prelude.
Yes.
And it's funny because okay, my brother he took the N64 to his house. We have different dads, so he lived with his dad most of the time. So I got to play the N64 when he visited, but then it was like I mostly played the PlayStation, which was actually at our house.
I had the reverse.
But
I
oh
think I
yeah,
told you.
yeah, and then. But the deal with me is I would continue playing Super Nintendo, and it was funny because I played Super Nintendo until my house burned down. Like I was playing, like I had an Xbox 360, and I would always still boot up the Super Nintendo. Like my buddy Josh always used to laugh about it. But Final Fantasy VII, that was one of the few games where it's like I actually played it quite a few times. It's fun. I'm glad that they're remaking it because it's one of those ones that definitely shows its age. It's it doesn't have 16-bit era. You have timeless sprites. Enjoy it. Like you can always go back to 16-bit. Like this looks nice. It's like a little art
It's
form,
what it's supposed to be.
right? And it's like, and yeah, it is an art form. Like people make patches and pins and stuff of 16-bit sprites. It's like I haven't seen people making like artwork of like N64 polygon things to like stick onto things. Like you look at like on the N64 on Ocarina of Time, everything kind of looked almost like paper craft, but not quite.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who has played Final Fantasy VII?
Definitely.
Waiting
Yeah.
on that remake.
Bernard, you played FF7?
The first disc, and I got bored.
Oh,
got-
damn.
That was the death of me playing role playing games.
You're just
No.
not an RPG player. In
No,
general,
I
then.
used to be. I used to be a really big RPG player, but at that time I just started playing. But I started working, and
Oh.
I did,
Okay.
can't.
And it's like you just can't.
It's pretty
dive
slow.
Into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
slow.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VII especially, it is a really slow start.
Yeah, it really is. And like honestly, things don't really start getting that exciting until like the last probably like couple hours of gameplay.
Right.
And like, cause that's when like shit starts happening, and then like 8 and 9 are like, hey, here's the rest of the story.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, that's a funny thing too. Is like, I think it's like I really liked 7, but even as a kid, I was like, it's a grind.
Yeah, for
And-
real.
And I haven't actually played 8 or 9 yet, but I
Really?
right, yeah,
Darn.
really. And but my friend just got me 9 for my birthday on Steam, so I'm gonna
Nice.
play 9 finally. And that's I feel like I'm gonna end up liking that one more than 7 because I'm really into fantasy, like actual
Mhm.
like dragons and stuff, and that's what 9 does. Is it's
Yeah.
you know castle knights and stuff. So, anything you want to say about Final Fantasy 7? You can go for it because is it on your list?
It is. It's definitely high up on my list. It was great, honestly. I was a young kid playing it, so of course I was super attached to all the characters.
Mhm.
And when everybody died, it hurt. But I don't know. Like, I'm super excited for that remake. And as I was like just kind of brushing up on all my stuff today, like thought back about it, like I definitely have the CD-ROMs, which is cool that you could use those for PlayStation.
Yeah,
Because like that was basically revolutionary. Like they were way cheaper.
hugely cheaper. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's weird to think about too because the PlayStation actually came out before the N64 by 2 years.
Right.
Like it's so it's so bizarre to think about it now that the PS2 was out in '94. Like
Wait,
games,
PS1.
yeah, PS1, sorry, was out in '94. PS1 was out in '94. It's weird to think about that because the games, it's like the games really didn't start rolling out until '95 because there was barely anything out in '94. But it's still like that amount of hardware because it was comparable to the N64.
Right.
It fucking worked though, so
True.
it's surprising. It's weird. I was 2 years old when I was out. Like, the hell.
Yeah. Weird.
All right, go ahead and kick it off. Since I guess it's gonna be you and I talking about PlayStation
Sweet.
games, and then they're gonna be like, "Oh, that sounds fun."
I got one
"That
for
sounds
you."
like shit."
Ooh.
Go for it.
Okay, the reason why I bought a PlayStation actually.
The reason.
Yeah,
Let's go for it.
Dance Dance Revolution.
Ah,
fuck yeah.
good
That came
shit.
out on the original PlayStation? I
Yes,
did
it
not
did.
know about
See,
that.
I played that. I played it on PlayStation 2, but great.
There was an
fucking
original
game.
PlayStation, and I remember playing it when it was at GameWorks when they finally had it. I'm like, I'll now buy one of these for this reason.
That's
We
awesome.
got in trouble for playing it because it was too loud. We
Oh,
got
the
too
thumping.
excited. Just
And you're jumping around, and
Oh,
you get
yeah.
the crappy pads too.
Oh yeah, dude! Like we had to buy so many pads just because like smash the crap out of
Dude.
them.
I had a buddy who was super into DDR. Like he was going to competitions and shit. He didn't do the pad thing. He had an entire setup at his house with actual.
Oh.
That's
Yeah.
sick.
Those the
I
deluxe
actually
edition
have
you
those
buy.
pads at home.
Yeah,
I have the actual metal pads.
the
I got
metal
it-
ones. Yeah, that's
I
what he
got them
had.
for $5 from Goodwill online.
No
Nice.
way.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
fucking
gonna
cool.
go
Yeah.
look things up.
Yeah, you
real
could buy
quick.
that was a special edition of the game. I remember seeing that in stores. It was fucking huge.
Because I know they had the thicker pads.
No, you could buy a
You
those
could buy the metal
boxes.
pads
You
they
could just
give.
buy it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
fuck yeah,
fucking
then.
down. I'm gonna look that shit
Yeah,
up. I got
my
it.
buddy, he would play that shit like daily. Like it was like if you dropped into him, it was
And
like
then Step Mania. I mean, like I know that was for PC. That was
Oh, yeah.
basically, but fantastic. Got too sucked into that.
that one's cool too. Like I didn't play so much of it. That's what like
Too much.
it's not like I thought it was bad or anything. I just didn't have the opportunities as much to play it.
I feel it.
Dance Dance Revolution is great though. I used to play it all the time at we had a cyber arcades up in the mountains. It's funny that those are just gone now. Like cyber arcades,
Nah,
like,
they're still around.
they're around, but they're not as popular as they were.
Right.
Because more people can buy a PC and play games now. Like it used to be like I want to play Counter Strike, but I can't buy a computer with because gaming computers used to be stupid expensive and
For
like
real.
from like 04 to probably around 8, 9.
Yeah, because I
Like-
built my first PC in like 08.
Uh-huh.
And that shit was like barely gaming, and it was like $1,200.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's like $1,200 will get you a fucking solid gaming PC.
Ah, this song.
This is I feel like anyone who's ever played DDR just instantly get a nostalgia bomb with this song.
Oh, dude, too much. Good stuff.
Good shit. All right. On to the next game.
Next game, all right, everyone knows this one, but Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2
Fuck yeah.
was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, that was
Like,
actually my next on the list. Was
Yeah.
Tony Hawk.
I put that pretty high up on the list just because it was like, I mean, you have to give it to it. I mean, being able to complete missions and do stuff versus like, hey, go collect some tapes. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Like, it was cool, and like customizable shit was pretty awesome.
They didn't add the manual till 3, huh?
I think it was in 2.
Fuck, don't ask me
When
harder
they added,
questions.
When they added manualing. The Tony
I
Hawk
want to
in
say it
general,
was 2.
I want to say
think
it was 2 as
two.
well, yeah.
Okay.
I believe so. Tony Hawk 1 was fun, and then Tony Hawk 1 was like, this is a game that you will love. And
Oh yeah, everybody loved it. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure it's still rated in like one of the highest ranked or like highest rated games ever because like there weren't complaints. Like
Yeah.
no one hated it.
Yeah, and
You
it
know?
was like they just added to it and it just got better. And It
Right?
was like, oh, this is everything that we
Soundtrack
didn't
was
know we wanted.
fantastic.
Yeah, Tony. I remember, like my brothers and I, we would play Tony Hawk like 1, 2, and then all the way up till 4, like even on the PS2. It's like it's one of those games that we would just fucking put hours into, just
Oh, yeah,
dumping
dude.
and chilling. Like it's like one of the best
It's
chill
such a
games.
great game, dude.
Yeah, it's fucking, like especially because that was you know, it was one of the like the first big 3D games going on,
Mm-hmm.
like where it wasn't like, okay, we're touching into the realm of 3D. It's like this is just an actual 3D space. Go have fun.
Yeah, it was
and
like super
do
open
whatever the
world,
fuck
like
you want.
be free, you know.
Bernard, you fuck with Tony Hawk?
Actually, no, I didn't.
You did
Oh.
not.
Surprising.
Damn.
No, but I did play a lot of Top Skater.
Oh, Top
Okay.
Gun. Did you ever play what was kind of an off branch of it was why am I drawing a blank? The fucking Jet Set
Jet Set
Radio.
Radio?
Oh,
Yeah.
Radio
Jet
Jet.
Jet Set Radio, Jet Set Radio Future was my
Good
shit.
Yeah, it was like
oh
on the,
my god.
I don't think they're the same kind of game, really, though. Like,
they are different, but they have that
Basically,
open
same
world.
concept.
Yeah, open world. Get some points, do some
Skate,
shit.
rollerblade.
And they tag everything. I played the
Oh,
hell
yeah.
out of Jet Set Radio.
I would
Jet Set
say,
Radio
uh,
Jet
Future.
Set Radio Future. was-
Yeah, Tony
I
Hawk
loved it.
actually ripped off of Jet Set Radio.
Just for that,
with
I'm gonna play
American
Jet Set Radio
Wasteland.
Future music.
That's right.
Yeah, American Wasteland was the Jet Set Radio Tony Hawk, basically. But yeah, Tony Hawk was, it's like nothing kind of compares to being able to pull off like billions of points combos.
For real, dude. And then
Right.
like going outside and trying to try it and then realize that, like it's a game, so let's go back inside and play.
fuck, physics don't work like that.
Oh,
My brother got really
ankles.
really into skateboarding and like had all of his friends come over and like would try to show him tricks from Tony Hawk and like Brett and I would just go upstairs and play.
Yeah, that's when I found out I wasn't coordinated.
My little brother, though, he did take it to the next. Like
He
was
actually
like,
got good at skateboarding.
Yeah, he fucking and he got to the point like he could do like triple kick flips. He can do fucking.
That's cool.
Like he could do God, not just impossibles, but
Yeah, dude, I
There's,
never figured out anything other than ollie.
dude, there's like he's a really good skater. Like I don't think he's done it recently, but I know he picked it up. Like he still can totally skate. Like it was like last year he like took up a skateboard and he was doing fine, whatever, and did all his tricks. He's more into like penny boards now though.
Oh, everybody
And-
gets
and-
into that.
Yeah, he's
over
like
time for some reason.
Even though he totally fucked his arm up on a penny board, like he didn't break his arm, he fell onto like loose set like turf,
Ah.
where like it was a really shitty way that they repaved the roads up in the mountains, and instead of like putting gravel and then asphalt and like this nice smooth blacktop, they basically just threw fucking rocks and sprayed it with tar.
Oh man.
So there's like literally rocks that are like the size of this cap that are sharp, big pointy things. And
Mountain roads.
yeah, one of those just sort of gored his
Oh,
arm down.
dude.
It was gnarly.
Fantastic.
He fell on a penny board. He didn't hit his head though.
That's
he's
what
been-
matters.
He's been skating since he was like 5 years old, so it
Hey.
was all road rash.
Don't let us run out of time. I need to talk about a movie that Andrew got me to go see
That's true.
at some point.
We'll go ahead and get on to that. Well, moving off of Tony Hawk, Metal Gear Solid was
Oh, yeah.
my next in line.
Okay.
And you played Metal Gear Solid on the PSP.
Yep.
Have you played it?
Yes, it's on my list.
Fuck yeah. Metal Gear Solid, it's shit narrative. Like I
Hella
mean,
narrative. It was like another kind of like pioneering game, bringing in so many like cutscenes. Like, hey, I'm a movie.
yeah,
you
and
know?
it got criticized heavily when it first came out. People were like, "Why didn't you just make a movie, Kojima?" Like,
I mean,
and-
it's the same. Well, it's more like a cinematic kind of a thing. Like I just did a review on Abzu, where it's more like,
Oh, yeah.
hey, immersing you fully into like you are the world.
I really
right
want to
now.
play Abzu. I played
It's
Journey.
yeah. Okay. Fantastic.
Journey's so good.
Really fucking good, dude.
I think
I'll let you sign in. on my shit and play it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
See, the thing about Metal Gear Solid, Bernard, did you touch on it? Because you were older, so you might.
I've seen it played many times. I never really got into it.
Well,
Again, I got to the point where it's like, this is too slow for me.
on Metal Gear Solid,
a lot of
really,
people.
yeah.
Well, a lot of people get like that with stealth games.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, like I've been having that issue with like Phantom Pains right now, where it's like way slower.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but I mean, like if you played Splinter Cell, you kind of get the concept where it's
Right.
like it's almost like a espionage more.
I think, well, not so much with Metal Gear Solid, the first one, but the later ones, I know it's like if you want to, you can just say fuck stealth. I'm gonna kill everything.
Oh yeah, dude.
and it's
Totally.
like it becomes extremely hard.
Honestly, this one's
But-
completely open world. Like I could just
Oh,
go
yeah.
collect shit if I really wanted to.
Can't
and,
you?
like,
The environments are destructible too, aren't they? Yeah. So if you want, you need to be like fucking TNT everything.
oh yeah, dude. Like developing C4 and like there's mortars and shit, and you can just blow up a mountain if you want to.
Hell yeah.
I have.
Sounds like was it not Red Faction?
No,
Or was
yeah,
it Red
yeah, it's
Faction?
Red
Yeah,
Faction.
it was Red Faction. Yeah, Red Faction. You just destroy
Complete map
fucking
destruction.
whatever you
I've
want.
been debating whether or not I should do let's plays on Phantom Pains because I'm kind of just sticking around, you know.
I mean, that sometimes can be the most fun
Sometimes,
things,
yeah, sometimes people enjoy that shit.
It kind of switched like priorities when it comes to Metal Gear as a series. So it's like in the first three, like Metal Gears 1 and 2, and then Solid, it was like impossible to just fight everything.
Oh,
like
Oh, yeah.
you could not do it. And
Yeah.
nowadays it's like going the stealth route is the challenge.
For real.
It's like
Yeah.
you can do this if you want, but
Yeah, it's like they kind of just say you can be stealthy, you don't have to be. Whereas in the originals, it was like you have to be stealthy, or you're just gonna be fucked in the mouth. Like,
for real.
Do they rate you like a higher score?
Yes.
at the end
Oh,
if you're
definitely,
stealthy?
dude.
Yeah.
Like, you remember that one round where I accidentally put the chicken hat on and I was running around? I get like 3 feathers. Like, he could check me out and be like, oh, I see you. And be like, wait, what? Like, get confused and walk away and like lose a feather. But I also have like a C for chicken instead of like double A's or something.
yeah, like you get graded on
Chicken master.
stealth performance, whether you kill people or not, tool utilization, speed, everything. And
Evacuations.
yeah, and at the end of the game, it's like, here's all your medals that you actually unlocked. Here's what your rank is overall. The best is getting Fox. So like, and that's to actually signify, like when you like Gray Fox is the character in Metal Gear Solid 1. It's like he was literally the highest rank as far as like it goes for badassery.
Yeah.
Like,
So-
even right now, there's like an objective. If I find the codename Fox, like, I get like how much gold or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's fun though.
See,
Good game.
and the thing about Metal Gear Solid 1, it's like, okay, yeah, graphics have dated, but the sound still sounds amazing.
Oh yeah, it does.
It's like you put on headphones and
It's almost a made to be played with headphones game.
Yeah.
You know?
and my buddy actually brought this up because he was looking at a thing back in that era. They knew that the polygons and that all that was like would end up getting dated. They knew, like, because Toy Story was already a movie, so it's like, okay, this is what CG can be. So we know that this will eventually take off and go towards that era, and this will just look like garbage. But we can focus on the sound and make it something that will be always good. And when you go back and play Metal Gear Solid, it's like, holy shit, it sounds.
Almost ASMR quality, you know?
Yeah, some of it, yeah, it's exactly like that level. It's like Hollywood movie stuff. Like, you listen, it's perfect. Like,
For real, like even like fire crackling's like very unsettling
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that.
yeah,
Well done though, like great game.
I fucking love Metal Gear Solid.
something trippy about that occurred to me. It's already at that age where you can forgive it too for its
Oh, yeah.
graphics.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I feel
dude.
like there was a time like after like when PlayStation 2 came out, you're like, man, Metal Gear Solid looked like shit after all.
Yeah,
But nowadays you're just like, oh yeah, this game's old as fuck.
yeah,
It's
because
supposed to look like this.
Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah, right.
that's how, like, when we were talking about Star Fox, it's like people can go back and look at Star Fox and be like, this looks
I get
good
it.
for the time.
Yeah.
And you're like, it doesn't. You're like, you don't say it looks bad, whereas
I think like one of the few games I've had issues with it looking bad is now, and I used to be a tournament player, is Melee.
oh
Like
yeah,
I can't even like
Really?
I got offered to play like kick somebody's ass the
Well, it's
other day
also
in Melee, and I
standard
was just
def.
like, ugh, I can't like.
yeah, it's standard def for one.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
yeah,
Um,
but you want to play that on CRTs.
Well, yeah, but even then, it's well, one part is getting a CRT sometimes. I don't know. Some people don't have them, but and also it's just the models themselves. They kind of
They're kind of janky.
Yeah, they have a little bit of a funkiness to them.
What was it? Last year they had a.
They also have
bunch of-
stone face going on.
Yeah, it's,
Uh,
Link is always pissed.
Yeah, just Zelda's like always like her eyes are just big.
like the acid just hit.
Just rolling balls, dude.
Exactly. Oh my god! Speaking about facial animations, like Nintendo's like hitting it out of the park like recently with some of their games. Like if you play the Mario Kart, all their faces are rendered and everything. I know you don't like Mario Kart.
No,
The new one for
On Switch, Mario Kart
Switch?
8. Yeah.
I've only played like a couple
Um,
rounds of it.
no, it's because you can actually mess with the camera at any time, and all of them are like actually reacting to each other and everything.
Really?
but it's fucking Mario Kart. It's not like, oh my god, how innovative! How did they get that?
No,
down?
I'm not saying it's
True.
amazing, but I'm saying it's cool that they're like you see that,
Stepping up their game.
and it's like that's just been
Finally,
you know like back in GameCube is when it like kind of
Fighting
started.
words.
When you look at Link, he actually looks at stuff in Wind Waker.
That's nice.
yeah.
Versus as in Ocarina of Time, you're just
He's
that
just-
same face the whole time,
Yeah.
just like
he had there was an idle thing for his face, wasn't there?
no.
He would get tired or something if you were just standing still.
Oh well, like he'd yawn,
He would yawn and
Yeah,
stuff, but his
but
face
like
wasn't
his
moving.
face. Well, like
was
he
animated.
yawns.
Yeah, his mouth would be like.
he would close his eyes and go, whatever the fuck
Oh yeah, he
sounds
closes
like.
his eyes, but like that's like a yawn face
There's,
versus
like-
like a.
There's actual
Hey,
like
I'm the same
nuances though. I'm
face.
saying.
Yeah,
like,
but
in
that
the
was on
facial
Nintendo
animations.
64. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know, but like
No,
No, I
well,
get
like,
you, no.
Versus
LA Noir did it 10 million times better,
Yeah, right.
fucking 10 million years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah. Well, my point is not to say that they're better than everything else. My point is that it's like just random games like Mario Kart have these nuances versus where it's like
Okay.
games back then didn't like, and they were big, huge games.
Okay.
It's something that like we can appreciate and go over now. Like if games
fuck,
don't
like
have
in,
it, they're
in the
shitty.
beginning
Yeah,
of Final Fantasy X, Tidus doesn't freaking move his face for
That's true.
like a
Yeah.
while, you know.
Yeah, see,
And like their facials are like just like pretty janky, you know, like super almost like robotic esque.
yeah.
You
And
know.
I was gonna point that out when you were talking about when we look at older games in like the PS1 and N64,
I
we
know
can
that was
forgive
two.
it.
My bad.
It's like we can totally forgive it, but then it's like PS2 is that like weird middle
There was kind of
ground.
like some really strange stuff going on, like not Spyro, Sly Cooper.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like some of their faces were just like a little, just freaking weird sometimes.
I didn't play
physics.
Slide Cooper. Did you guys
Really?
have that like weird like brand loyalty back then? Like I played Jack and Daxter and I was like, nah, fuck Sly Cooper. I've got Jack
Dude,
and
I
Daxter.
was loyal
Fuck a
to
Ratchet
Sly
and Clank.
Cooper and hated Ratchet and Clank and Jack and Beck.
That's what I'm saying, right? There was a weird loyalty we had as children. Like, why the fuck
It's
did
like
we
fuck
form
yeah,
these?
raccoons.
Yeah.
I'll be
I liked-
devious raccoon.
you know I kind of had that because I liked Jack and Daxter and I liked Sly Cooper, but I was kind of like, on Ratchet and Clank.
I just wasn't down to like.
But
kill
they're the same
sheep.
game, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
That is kind of
Well,
funny.
I think Sly
It
Cooper
happened.
like kind of deviates a bit.
A little
like,
bit,
It's more
huh?
like
It's got somewhat of
Ham.
a stealth element.
God,
Hey, I'm gonna steal some shit.
I'm Sly.
That's it, yeah.
Swiper no swiping.
Yeah, my buddy, he was super into Ratchet and Clank, and I was like, Jack and Daxter's cooler. It's
You were like,
you-
fucking why?
and I was like, it's like you can like both. You don't have to hate one and love the
no.
other. Right?
The second was I played a Ty the Tasmanian Tiger on GameCube.
Oh yeah, I didn't play that one actually. I
That's
know about
valid.
it though.
I always wanted to play that game.
It was fun. It was
Kind
fun.
of fun.
So where should we kick it off now? Moving off from Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, what is this? Are we still on number 4 for you guys?
My next one.
Well, we kind of grayed areaed because I had Final Fantasy VII, Tony Hawk, and it's like we crossed
some good
cross
shit.
We're
streams.
super disorganized this time. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, yeah, because you guys don't even have lists, so it's like we
Trey
kind of
does?
just
Oh, me and him. Okay.
yeah. It's like so we're kind of just going off of what was cool. Like, what did you guys fucking like?
Right.
Bernard can chime in and be like, I fucking loved this game and it was the shit.
Is that how Bernard sounds?
I'm giving him like a cool voice and he's like, it's the shit. And then
Is that cool?
It might as well be. It's something like he could just be like, you guys were fucking babies. I played the real shit while you were still shitting your pants.
See, Castlevania's on the list. Symphony of the
that was
Night.
good. Yeah, Symphony of the Night was really good. I
That was
didn't
kind of
have
the
it
in
on my list, though.
between of the story where you are Alucard, because Belmont Belmont's the last boss and is fucking has Dracula's
Oh,
castle
shit.
or whatever.
He's kicking in with Parappa the Rappa.
Oh, forgot about Parappa.
Fuck yeah.
I played the version on PS3. It's not the same. It's the same version when they
Yeah.
had it on the market. I forgot about that.
Man. This was This is one of those games that when I was a little kid, my dad always brings it up. That I was like, I fucking memorized like all the songs, and
Oh no,
Mario.
yeah, he was like,
that must have been hell.
no, it's not just that. Like he doesn't look at it as a bad thing. He looks at it as being cute and everything. He's like, you really loved that game, and he still like remembers it. Like he actually remembers the kick punch. It's all in the mind part. It's pretty funny.
That's
And
funny.
man, I played this game. This game's a shit.
So yeah, this game's a shit right here. This is where you go ahead, do my voice again. I want to hear it.
This game right here. This is a shit.
Yeah, that works.
You guys played fucking baby shit.
Oh,
That's
this is
funny.
baby shit, so I'm okay with it. It was great.
No, this one is like everyone can pick this shit up and it's good.
Dude, I remember trying to play this game when I was a kid. I just couldn't figure it out.
Oh really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Right,
why.
our age rhythm games probably like were fucking impossible.
Yeah.
Connor, did you play it? You played?
I played the shit out. I
and you
beat
got
it.
you
I even beat
successfully played
what's his name? Reggae Chameleon guy. That's such a hard level. Even now, like as an adult, I'm like, how the fuck did I do this as a kid? I'm like, my fingers were able to move at this speed and like
Dude,
accuracy.
it's the same way little kids now are like fucking pros at Call of Duty and shit. Like,
Yeah.
For
For
real,
it's the
like
same
my nephew,
thing.
my oldest nephew is like 8 right now, and he's playing Smash, like kicking
Yeah,
ass in
just
Smash.
whipping ass at
Oh
Smash.
yeah, dude. Tried to go get the Wii for Brawl the other day, and like all the younger kids are playing. It was like, I can't take it now. Fuck,
Right, you're
grown
like-
up, right?
Let me show you how it's done, and then you get beat. Fuck you, kids.
This is my station. Buy your own.
Yeah.
That'd be mortifying. Just be like, let me show you how it's done, young blood. Just get
Oh, dude,
destroyed.
I'd
Destroyed.
fucking cried. Nerd rage too hard.
I
Don't
don't-
have a talk with this.
I've
boy.
had moments where it's like I haven't been beat by any of my younger siblings or cousins or anything like that
the
yet.
youngest, other than like nephews.
Yeah.
So grateful.
So yeah, my brother Frankie, he's the youngest, and I kick his ass at any game. So like he's not a huge gamer, so it doesn't matter that I never got dethroned by him. I dethroned my brother Daryl though.
I've been waiting for that day.
And he was like, it was funny because I did it around the age of like 8.
Oh, wow.
and like he could still kick my ass at like quite a few things, but like when I did that, and then
like street fights.
Street Fighter was the one that made him pissed off though that I was able to beat him at it.
No, I mean in the streets.
Actual Street. So he would actually probably be able to kick my ass at that like easily because he's all trained in wrestling and all that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like when I beat him at Street Fighter, he was like kind of pissed because that was like his game.
Oh, dude, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, and
Like-
he could still kick my ass in Mortal Kombat, but fucking he like Street Fighter 2 bums him out.
It's
Like
weird. The like straightforward fighters are the ones that people stand a chance against you with. When it's like nuanced shit like Street Fighter 2, like the vanilla one, it's
Oh,
like I
yeah.
can't fucking touch you
Oh,
unless you're playing
yeah.
a character you've literally never played.
yeah, it's really fun. Like yeah, when we're playing Soul Calibur is another one that I'm like fucking crazy on.
good.
Oh
Good
wow,
shit.
that's
Yeah,
surprising.
that-
Soul Calibur's so
But like,
good.
yeah, he comes to my house and like, or we'll have like tournaments with all our friends, just chilling on the couch and whatnot, playing like Tekken or whatever, and fucking Injustice, and it's like okay, everyone has a good bit of fun, and it's like no one's really overpowered except for our buddy Nate in Injustice,
I still haven't played him at that.
but. Fucking as soon as we pull out like anything with the Street Fighter 2 engine, like Street Fighter 4 is the same way. It's like, no, fuck all y'all. I'm gonna kick your asses. It's pretty funny. Like, we were trying to play during on the Switch. We were playing when we were waiting for the Super Nintendo. and-
that's some dope shit. Is that we can just be sitting in front of Walmart at 6 a.m.
Playing
Playing.
Street
Yeah,
Fighter.
that's
yeah.
fucking sick.
And you didn't need to carry all these controls or anything. It was like, here's 2 controllers. That's the best part. Of it. Yeah, it was funny though because like, you won one.
I won two.
Two,
because
okay.
I was going cheap as fuck on you with Guile and
Dalsim, you did it
Dalsim,
once,
yeah.
And I think in both of those rounds, I was playing someone I just like. I
Yeah.
was like, I never play these characters. I'll go ahead and give it a shot.
yeah, because I tried Dalsim again later, and you were playing I think Cammy, and you just fucked me in the mouth.
Well, yeah.
Well, Cammy, yeah, Cammy's one of my jams. Like that's one of my favorite characters. Fucking Cammy, any of the Hadouken boys. Because honestly, like they're almost there is differences. Like anyone who plays it is like yes, there's differences, but they all control. They all have the same inputs for Ken, Ryu, Akuma, Sakura. It's like they all do the same thing. So I just call them the Hadouken boys. But
That is sexist.
no, it's just like what languages do. Like when you're like saying, "Hey guys," I don't know.
What are you talking about? I
I
was
don't
making
know.
a joke.
I'm just making bullshit up now. But she's going on Castlevania though, which that one's fucking good.
Castlevania was fucking great.
Hey, 1 second. I got a message from our fearless leader. In the last Street Fighter tournament, you got beat by Andrew in the finals.
That's because he used Evil Ryu, and
So you're making excuses.
Darkling?
no, it's funny that he actually messaged in with that. He actually did beat me on that.
Don't worry, I'm now part of the crew, guys. You're gonna all lose to me.
Let's do it. Yeah. It was really funny. I don't know actually if he heard it when it happened. The fucking first thing that happened as soon as Andrew beat me on that was our buddy Lewis was like, cheap. Fucking, because you used Evil Ryu for, I don't know if you've ever played Street Fighter 4. Evil Ryu, like that one with Evil Ryu in it, the arcade edition.
Oh, Bernard's not hearing those excuses.
Bruh. I've been playing Street Fighter before you were a mistake.
No, I'm saying, did you play the ones with Evil Ryu though?
Yes.
Street Fighter 4.
Yes, the Street Fighter 4
Yeah.
Xbox. I
It,
had all the controllers. I had the limited edition 15th anniversary one I sold away.
So you know how his standard heavy punches do
Is-
3 times the damage
Yeah,
of a normal?
yeah. But you just keep them away then.
Yeah.
Bait them into a place where you can punish them.
Zoning, bro.
Yeah. You can.
But you didn't, obviously, and that's what
Yeah.
happened.
I was like 5 or 6 beers in.
Oh, okay.
There's that too.
They could get better when I drink.
I don't.
Some people have.
I
that.
get
It's
better
fucking
at
weird.
pool. I get better at pool when I drink.
Pool and bowling are two
There's
games you
certain-
get better at
certain
when you drink.
games.
Yeah. There's certain
Yeah,
there's
'cause-
certain video games like whenever we play shooters, I can fucking pop headshots like nothing when I'm drunk. It's
Sometimes with Overwatch, honestly, it's kind of like there's a very fine line that I cannot cross, before I just start fucking shit up, not helping out.
when I get drunk, like even more and more, the problem with games is I have no fucking clue what I'm supposed to do. And I tell him this, like we played Overwatch and it's like, I'm a pretty good soldier 76. And when I'm drunk, I'm still a good soldier 76. I just don't know what the objective is at that point. I'll still hang around it and everything.
He becomes your average Overwatch player and just starts killing things.
But I'll still be killing things at an alarming rate. Like
Yeah,
it's
you'll-
like
you'll-
my headshots will probably be better than they normally are at times. And then it's like you put something in front of me, it's dead. But tell me where to go. Like you have to remind me to go places, and
See,
I'll do
that's
it.
all right though, because like we play with like a bunch of different teams and like get used to that. We're like, hey, like pay the fuck attention. Like, hey, go target the Sombra. Like that's what your job is. That's
Yeah.
why you're playing this character.
Yeah.
You
You're
guys sound like I
play,
need to be
like-
playing with you guys.
Please.
Shit.
Yeah, right.
What do you play on?
We've needed better
PC.
players.
We're on
No?
PS4.
Bum,
What the
bum,
fuck?
bum.
I'm sorry, I'm building us a tandem PC desk, but we're not there yet.
Call me a fucking scrub.
I'm sorry. I still love you though.
I play Zarya. Does that change
Okay,
anything?
yeah, that changes a lot. Stay with us.
I play.
Just get a
tanks and-
PlayStation.
well,
I have a PlayStation. I
Get
just don't
Overwatch.
play Overwatch on it.
Ask Blizzard.
Ask Blizzard, right?
what's funny is I actually play tanks and healers more. And I'm like good at 76 and McCree and all that. I usually don't play them because everyone always locks DPS anyway.
Yeah,
so
of
it's like
course.
it's like okay, I'm
Oh,
gonna
dude, like
be
there's
tank and healer.
we're running out of soldiers though. Like for a minute, people stopped playing Roadhog, and now there's like new maps. People
Yeah.
are playing Roadhog again.
There's a lot of moments
And
where it's like
deathmatch.
he tells me he's like, dude, you need to fucking go soldier
Oh,
76.
dude, like we
right
say
now.
that shit all the time. We're like, yo, Swish, like please go change to Zarya right now. Like your May isn't doing shit.
Mhm. Well, see, we'll
Like-
tell other people on our team like, hey, can you do
Oh
this?
yeah,
But
I'll
then,
switch. I switch all the time. It just depends on like, hey, this person's gonna stay Hanzo the whole time and just sitting back trying to snipe people. And it's like, all right,
Yeah.
keep being dumb. I'll switch and like take over your part.
Yeah, right.
You know, sometimes it's like a reluctant switch, but you gotta help out the team.
Yeah, the funniest moments is when you're playing, say like, okay, not Lucio. Let's say you're playing Mercy, and then you're like your team's doing terrible, and you're like, man, me healing people is not actually doing anything. And then it's like I've switched to Soldier, and then steal like gold medals and that.
Right,
And
and,
it's
then you
like-
have all four.
And it's like,
gold-
what the fuck were you guys even doing? I
For real.
switched mid game and stole the tops. Like,
right?
Switched from healer, and you guys don't have any
Um,
heals now, except
And
for my
we
biotic field.
Still
Yeah.
won. What the
Fucking-
fuck? Yeah,
yeah.
dude. There are certain times like I'll take breaks from comp, just like the rage is too hard. People won't even use their mics, but they're on. They're in the chat. And it's like, if you
Yeah,
have
I
one,
think-
fucking use it,
Oh my God,
please.
we've said this so many times. They need to make at least having the mic on so you can hear your teammates mandatory.
yeah.
It's
If
like,
you're in the chat, like, let me be able to. Like,
at least be able to hear when people need certain things or
Yeah, but
like
then
call outs.
you get stuck with toxic players. That's why people don't play
Yeah.
with their mics on.
Yeah,
It's-
exactly.
it's
Well, I
in
mean,
team
like,
chat.
but most of the time it's not fucking toxic. Like, PlayStation is like one of the things that I love so much about the community. Is like there is hardly any toxicity, and if there is, it's like, fuck you, you stole my kill, or like, I'll fuck your mom.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like
mom.
really
Even-
nasty shit like
yeah.
PC and Xbox. Like Xbox is just like a bunch of kids like being fucking nasty.
I want to start telling
You
people
know?
I'll fuck their dad.
Dad.
That's pretty good, dude. If you said that shit to me, I'd back the fuck up. Like, okay.
Whoa.
That whole Louis C.K.
Oh,
bit.
yeah,
Ah,
you
dude.
can take it out, so-
Oh my god. You know, it's funny too because people talk about how toxic Overwatch is, and it's like I've seen, you know, there's a general amount of toxicity,
You know,
but I've only had one guy that was like legitimately like, what the fuck, dude?
there's
Like, you
literally
were-
been like one person that we've ever called out, and it was like him being like, we ended up reporting him. He was being like really, really fucked up, you
there,
know?
there would be two, but one of them was only in chat, like
Yeah.
and he was fucking toxic as fuck.
Yeah,
in
I
the
mean,
chat.
like at that point, it's like fuck off. Like I
you know
just
it's
don't have
you
to
know
read
it's
your
two,
shit.
you were in for both of those.
Yeah,
But I mean, like it's nice though because like you'll hear other people in the chat just be like, "Hey man, don't be toxic." It's
Yeah,
like
right.
on.
I've
Thank
had
you.
People,
kinda
like,
nice.
I'll ask someone to switch before, and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna fucking turn you off in that. I'm gonna meet you in the chat." It's like, dude, I just asked you like once if you would switch because we need
Yeah,
a
right.
healer or we need a tank.
Dude, this one guy with the guy that was toxic as fuck in chat. He was playing Sombra. He didn't need it. It was on Hollywood. There was like, he was.
he wasn't like hacking all the health packs and shit and like making it so our
Unnecessary
team was like
play for not the right word.
He was trying to play Sombra as if she was Soldier.
Why?
Fucking
he was
stupid,
going
dude.
like DPS Sombra.
Yeah, it's like you can do that. He couldn't, and we're like, we'll give like,
Work at it a little bit.
yeah, we were like, we even told him that we're like, dude, we're not saying you can't play Sombra. We're just saying that you are not doing good at Sombra right now, and you should.
Just hack some health packs.
Yeah.
Just, I need that.
It was hell. And then this other guy, oh my god, he fucking was just out the gate pissed.
Oh, the dude that
Yeah.
just started shouting on the mic.
Yeah, he was just screaming, and I like, it was so. It was.
There was another guy on our team that was just shouting back at him, but I don't think they were saying actual words to each other.
They were just fucking screaming at the world and
Dude,
hoping
it
it
was
would
Brandon.
say something back.
Drunk.
It was either Brandon drunk or like one of our friends, King91. He
my
fucking
God,
he plays a lot of McCree, and we don't even know how old he is, but he sounds younger and definitely does that like high pitched like baby scream, and like he'll scream, "It's high noon," or like it's 12 o'clock, and, like come around the corner, and it's after a couple drinks, it's like the funniest shit you'll ever hear. But like some people will come and be like, "Dude, are you okay?" Like.
That's fucking good.
What's our
That's-
time looking like?
Oh, we still got like 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
Yeah, and you got to talk about the movie thing soon enough. Andrew asked for it.
Yeah.
Something to know.
So Andrew
Let's go to that movie, and then we'll touch down on any PlayStation stuff we've forgotten.
right. Andrew got us press pat entry, whatever the fuck, to this screening of the movie Brawl in Cell Block 99, starring Vince
That's
Vaughn.
right.
He had to cancel. His girlfriend's sister was at in Vegas on Sunday.
Oh damn, is she okay?
I think so. I think she just got hurt like in the scramble. She
Okay.
wasn't hit. I don't believe. I don't want to say anything for sure.
Fuck.
But he,
Andrew, yeah, if he was here, he would tell us. But
he hasn't
Yeah.
said anything about it, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
assume the best.
assuming the best because he hasn't made a big deal about it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking shit, this movie. It is brutal. You might get you're like, no shit, it's called Brawl in Cell Block 99. But it's like you see Vince Vaughn as the leading role in the movie, so you're like, oh, okay, so it can't be too serious. No, to throw that shit out the window. This is a good movie, actually. You might think like, oh, how can you take it seriously with Vince Vaughn in the lead role? He's a funny guy. He's not
I feel
He's
like
not
that'd be
a
hard
serious
at
actor.
first.
Yeah,
No,
he's
I don't see the dude from Dodgeball. I don't see the dude from Wedding Crashers in here. I see fucking Bradley. I forget his last name actually.
Bradley.
He has a bit in the
Bradley.
movie.
Bradley.
Where he insists somebody called Bradley instead of Brad. God damn, it's so real. It's so real. You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Like it shows like the real lengths like a man is like willing to go for his family and shit, and it hits you hard because it's Brawl in Cell Block 99. You know he goes to prison. It's not a fucking spoiler.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, and this whole prison experience is just like fucking. I can't imagine being stuck in prison for like this amount of time and shit, and like the struggles he has to go through. It's emotional. It's pretty emotional and it's brutal. It's fucking brutal. Like, when does it come out? Tomorrow? Was it the 6th? Or maybe it came out today. It might have come out tonight. No, yeah, tomorrow's the 6th, right?
Yeah, tomorrow's the
Yeah,
6th.
it comes out tomorrow. It's probably airing at midnight or whatever the fuck at theaters tonight. I totally think we should go and watch it. It's a genuinely good movie. It's the second.
So you want to see it again? Is
Yes,
what
I do.
Yeah.
I absolutely. I rarely leave a movie and think I want to see that again. There's 2 movies I've done that for: Cloverfield and Avatar.
Avatar.
The James Cameron Avatar, not fucking,
not
not the one that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
By fucking Shaggle Haguman.
What the f-
M.
that
Night
was-
Shyamalan.
Why didn't you go Shamalama Ding Dong? It's such an easy one.
Because it's a name that you can just kind of fuck up and people know who you're talking about. Kind of
No,
like
I didn't know what you.
Cumberbatch.
I only knew what you're talking about because of the context there. Benedict Cumberbatch is different.
Benedict Cumberbatch, you can fuck his name up every which way till Sunday, and you still know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should go and see it. I think you should experience this movie.
Nice. Well, it sounds fun. I like brutal films.
Yeah,
Like,
me too.
Like in John Wick, we were talking about earlier. That's
Oh
one.
yeah, how was it?
John Wick
One-
is amazing,
1 and 2 are both fantastic.
right? I don't think either one is better, but they're both like A+ films.
Yeah.
Like we saw 2, and I was like, oh man, I hope it lives up. It at least does that.
Yeah, it was
At
like
least.
it's like there's some moments where I'm like, I feel like it's better.
Because sometimes,
and then it's like other times where it's like, but John Wick was the first one's really good too.
right?
So it's like I can't really say it's better because they're both really fucking good. So
Because sometimes you fear a sequel, right? You're like,
Yeah,
oh man, like what
definitely,
else is there
dude.
left to do?
yeah,
It doesn't feel like they're just throwing shit at you for no reason.
yeah.
Yeah.
in John Wick 2.
That's what I'm worried about with the third one because there's gonna be a third.
Well, no, dude. After the ending of 2, I feel excited
No.
for 3.
Oh no. I'm wondering like
What are they gonna do?
what the fuck's gonna happen even more like.
Oh.
I'm like, because he's I don't want to spoil anything because it's it came out this year and people like these two haven't seen it and it's like, fuck,
It's gonna be intense.
yeah,
For sure, we'll go. We'll watch.
hell yeah.
Excited.
Is there any more you want to say, or is that all that you should or good on?
We're all on Subblock 99. I think that I mentioned it's the director's second film.
Mm-hmm.
I need to go back and see his first one because if he did this well on this one, I want to know, like if that's his thing.
That's his shtick.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I'm excited. Sounds fun. All right. Well, we've still got about 15, 16 minutes. So, we were on PlayStation. The next one on my list is Gex.
Oh, I forgot
Dude,
about Gex.
Gex. I played a
yeah.
good amount of Gex
Yeah.
actually.
The first one, I played all 3 of them, and I like all 3 of them. I like the first one the most, though, because it's a side scroller, whereas the other ones were 3D exploring games. And these top 2 on here, it kind of goes back to what you were saying, like how you were more Nintendo, and like a big thing on Nintendo has been platformers, and it's like my 2 favorite games on PlayStation are platformers.
Platformers.
Yeah. Gex, it's fun because he's got fucking. Here we go. This is in the 3rd. This is Enter the Gecko. This is when you
This
did
is
this
the
one.
one that I played.
Man, he just has all these fucking snarky, snivy remarks that he says. He's got a lot of them too. Like, and they progress with the levels, like depending on what you're playing.
Okay.
So you actually have to beat the game to like hear everything he says. But then there's like he has so many fucking voice lines that you won't like. There was a time when I went to his house and we were playing it, and I was like, I've never heard him say that shit before. Like, what the fuck? Some people could actually, I think, get annoyed by it if they're like not into one-liners or like cheesiness, but that's what it is. I think the hamminess of this game makes it fun to me, and the platforming and the level design, it's all like, it's solid. It's a very fun, overall engaging game. There's points where you can climb on walls, climb on the back of the screen and everything, and depending on what you choose to do, it gets you to completely different areas, and there's like all these it's full of secrets. It's one of those games where playing it one time you will not see everything at all, like even remotely. So, and it's a platformer. Like it's not like a big you're doing it for the story to play over. It's legitimately there's more game that you just didn't even see.
Yeah.
So
Sick.
it's fucking sick. Did you play original Gex? No. Did you play any of the Gexes? Nothing. just stone cold nothing. Have you seen Gex being played?
Yeah, I've seen it.
What'd you think about it? Was it dog shit?
No, it wasn't bad.
Okay.
Looks like a fun platformer.
Yeah.
What I remember from it was the ads, the James Bond
Oh yeah.
fucking parody ads.
Yeah.
Those are pretty cool.
Those are good. That's actually that's the Enter the Gecko's the box art. He's actually all dressed up in the suit and everything.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and it's even got it's a human woman as like a Bond girl.
Oh.
It's like it's not even an in-game like another lizard girl or anything. It's just some
A chick.
like a Playboy model, all like in a
Roger Rabbit.
busty fucking like skin tight leather suit and everything. It's funny. That's it's weird. Like the funniest thing about Gex is he's like the icon that just went away.
It just
Because like when it used to be like you would go into like Blockbuster and stuff, and there were fucking huge like cutouts of him, and it was like, oh, this is the game section. It's like boom, Gex, and then just fizzled. Like he just became nothing after that.
Yeah.
But that's a good game. I'd really recommend that. Like that's one that totally holds up too, because it's in the 32 bits. It uses sprites and everything. It still looks good. It has an art style. It's fun. It's all around. Totally recommend Gex.
Sick.
Let's go to the next. What do we got?
Next, I have Spyro.
Hell yeah! I almost put Spyro on the list. It's
a good game.
super good.
Good game.
I really liked the chase, the running sequence.
Ah, yeah, definitely.
What were they called again? Do you remember? They were like they had a silly name.
I'm looking it up.
I don't know.
Go
I only
ahead.
played Spyro on my Game Boy Advance.
That one was fun, but it was totally different game.
Yeah.
It,
This one was
I played the
isometric.
one on the PlayStation.
oh, okay. Did you play Bernard Spyro? No. Did it look too kiddie for you, or
No, Spyro actually looked like fun.
you just didn't play it? Just
No,
didn't
I
get a chance
didn't,
to.
I didn't get a PlayStation until later in the life of it
Uh huh.
because I just at the time didn't have the money. So I picked it up later on. But when I did, I bought a lot of cool games. I liked a lot for it. So, but Spyro was one of the ones I'm like, if I had the time, I probably would have played the hell out of that too.
Yeah.
Like
It-
Gex looked great. Spyro looked great. Those games looked like a lot of fun. I remember the first game I played was Jumping Flash, so that was fun too.
Nice. Yeah, it's fucking. I don't know much to add to it. Like everyone fucking knows Spyro's
I
good.
don't know a single person that hated Spyro.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
it was just another one of those kind of like timeless classics, you
Mhm.
know? Like, I was just, I don't know, it was cool that there was another thing to go save a shit ton of, you know, versus it being like, hey, let me just fight bosses, you
Yeah.
know? It was kind of like a whole world where, yeah, what is it, Nasty Nork?
I think so.
Something like
It's funny. I don't remember.
gnarly.
I remember like all the looks
Is
of
it?
them.
Yeah, right? Like, is his girlfriend's name Crystal or something? Dang. Can't remember. It's been a while. But, like, he freezes them all in Crystal, and because he gets mad over, like, some press conference.
Yeah.
Like, the dumbest shit, you know? And a whole game was based off of that, but it was cool versus, like, hey, I gotta go save Princess Zelda, which I've done, like, a billion times, you know? Or, like, go save my sister as Banjo and Kazooie. But, like, it was just, like, finally another, like, let's go save something game.
Let's do something that's like
Feels worthwhile. Like, hey, I like completed like saving the world, you know?
yeah. And then like even the nuanced stuff like, hey Spyro, you're now the best racer because you beat
'Cause
these
you
guys.
can run.
Yeah. Dude, those were so hard. Like especially the third one when you're going.
I'm trying.
Yeah, like, it's weird saying that they were these weird little blob guys with big heads though, and they were all different colors. And they fucking stole shit, and you had to chase them, and like you had to be like exact pinpoint accuracy on your turns and speed and everything. It was like they had a racing game within the game. Like
Yeah.
that's how nuanced it
The
was.
egg thieves, right?
Yeah. I don't know what they were called, but they stole eggs and all that, and they made funky noises. But
Like slap bass or
no, they fucking would make like little like googly noises, like
Mocks.
like
shit.
Murlocs?
Yeah,
No.
kind of. They were
Are they called mocks?
mocks. Yeah,
Bravely mocks.
I was gonna say that. I was like mimic was coming to my mind.
Yeah,
I was like, that's not
mocks.
what they were. Mocks. There you go.
Because they like laugh at you and shit after they took the egg and like.
Yeah,
these little,
they were just like talking mad shit the whole time.
Yeah.
And, like googly voices.
They're like, you can't. You're not as fast as us. You had to like finally learn how to run
Mhm.
and shit.
I feel like if you go back, you probably could hear expletives hidden in there.
Oh, dude,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure. I'm sure it's littered everywhere.
Yeah, because
Like-
one I remember specifically of back then, like they just kind of threw something in there. It's not technically an expletive, but in Diddy Kong Racing, the walrus when you're racing him, he cheats and he goes ahead like before the buzzer starts, and he totally says "screw you."
Really?
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's all like gargly and stuff. He's a big walrus, like "screw you," and it's like he fucking said "screw you."
Wow.
Yeah, which is weird for a Nintendo game.
Which was
And dude,
serious
I'd
for the
be-
90s.
Yeah, for real. I'd be
Yeah.
shocked to, or like kind of interested to go back and play a bunch of different games, older games, like Unscramble, some of
right.
like definitely Banjo Kazooie, Unscramble, all of that. See if they're actually saying anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like in Doom 2, the aspect of evil. Like when you go up to it, it's actually John Carmack speaking, and it's like the sound you hear is him speaking in backwards.
What's
and
he
it's
saying?
It's him saying, "To win the game, you must defeat me, John Romero, not John Carmack." So
Wow.
you can't actually see his. They actually is an in-game head of him. It's like his head floating there, like blood leaking out and everything.
That's sick.
If you use the like a no clip cheat, you can go behind the aspect of evil and actually shoot him, and then that's how, like his face actually reacts and everything.
Kind of like
And
the
does it end the game?
Herobrine
Yeah,
thing.
it actually finishes the game. It's like the true ending and everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like to win the game, you must defeat me, John Romero, and it's just his head as a sprite.
Nice.
That's sick.
So, yeah,
Definitely like a Herobrine thing. That's cool.
hell yeah, freaking. All right, you're next. You got Spyro.
I said Spyro.
That's right, you got it. So Crash Bandicoot. That's my
That
top.
was the last one on my list. Good
Yeah.
list, man.
Crash Bandicoot. They just remade it, the whole Crash collection.
Everyone went
We need to get
insane
that.
over that. No, I'm cool.
It's solid.
I'm sorry, I've played too much of it, and now even watching videos, I just can't. Like,
Is it
kind of makes my head hurt.
oh,
It's just a little. It's just insane, dude. Like,
insane trilogy?
yeah, for real.
It
Did you just fucking... God damn
it's called the Insane Trilogy.
I know.
but still, yeah, she said it's insane.
Well, it is, dude.
It is,
Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna hit
it's
you.
a very
You know-
high intensity game.
Well, the funny thing about it too is, I didn't play 2 when I was a kid. I played I played like the first like 3 levels of it, but I played 1 and I played 3.
Yeah,
Like a
played-
shit ton. Played the fuck out of them. And I've played 1 a lot. Like I have that on my PSP and just like open it up. Like, okay, we're gonna beat Crash Bandicoot right now.
Yeah.
So that's why I just threw the first one there. But they're all really good because now
They're good.
I finally gotten into 2 with the Insane Trilogy,
Yeah.
and it's like, yeah, it's really good. Like they did not fuck up on any of them.
No,
they
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 didn't.
it started getting weird once Activision fully took it and started doing their own thing. But it's like, dude, Crash Bandicoot was the shit. Like aside from those times that you've like messed around with me, did you ever play it?
I played the Insane Trilogy.
Oh, okay.
Not all the way through. I played the first one. Yeah, that can... It's... What, the mic stand?
It just wants to not stay down.
You know, there's a knob for that.
Right. Well,
What?
fuck you.
I'm gonna fiddle with that shit right now.
Yeah, right. I don't want to like. full
10
on-
minutes left.
No, stop that now.
Hey, it worked.
Savage.
All right. What'd you think about it?
It seems like back in the day it would have been a good time killer. Like, you have to redo that shit over and over because it's fucking hard. Actually,
It is actually.
Yeah.
People were complaining about that.
I
They
had
were
my
like,
brother, my youngest brother, beat a couple of the levels for me because I couldn't get past them.
the platforming's really precise, and
Yeah.
Crash's movement is not.
It's not. Yeah, it's pretty fucked actually. Like, what's funnier is it's actually better playing the original.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that playing the Insane Trilogy, at least with Crash 1, because I played Crash 1 so much that when I went to the Insane Trilogy playing Crash Bandicoot 1, it was like, I think it's fucked up with the newer graphics.
Yeah?
Yeah, like it's like
Glitchy?
it's not that it's glitchy, it's that like the hitboxes aren't matched up exactly how they
okay.
were. Because like
That
some of
makes
the stuff they
sense.
added detail, like
Oh,
they
yeah,
made,
of course.
they
I
made the
mean,
piranha plants like fatter.
if they really didn't modify, yeah. That makes sense, though.
Yeah, so like there was a point that it's like it just made things seem slipperier, like
Yeah.
because they kept the engine exactly the same and everything. It's just basically a coat of paint over everything,
Yeah.
and it kind of messed with me. There was some, and I don't know if it was just a glitch because of the new game, like if they were something
Yeah,
messed with the
maybe.
coding, but one of the late levels actually fell through the map and like fucking went all the way back down on a jump pulse, and I was like, oh, okay, fuck me then, I guess, whatever.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, it was interesting. We're coming up to the end of the show here. We got like 2 minutes left, something like that. Anything you guys want to add? Games you've been playing this last week? What you've been doing? Where to find you guys? Because now you guys are new. Where should we check you out on social media and all that?
Go ahead with games. Quaid, you've been playing Paladins.
Oh yeah, I have been playing Paladins. I'm doing a comparison of Paladins and Overwatch right now. And I don't know. I looked up some like other people who were comparing them, and like Paladins has a lot more to offer than what people are giving it.
Oh, okay. I was always wondering that. Yeah, I never gave it the chance yet, but yeah. Quick yay, nay. What would you say to people who play Overwatch? Should they give Paladins a try? What's up? Or is it just like to stick with Overwatch?
I say you should play Paladins because a lot of people say that Overwatch is a mix between a first-person shooter and a MOBA, right? Overwatch is more towards the first-person shooter aspect of it, and Paladins is more towards a MOBA.
Oh, okay.
So it's got a lot more depth, a lot more things that you can do to like modify your character to get its strengths and whatnot. Whereas Overwatch, the character you pick
It's
is
the character.
that's it.
Yeah.
So it adds a layer of complexity, and there's a big competitive scene for it and everything too. But I'm personally going to stick with Overwatch because I've never been into MOBAs.
Oh, okay.
But I can see where people would really enjoy it.
Nice. You?
Honestly, I haven't played Paladins yet. I downloaded it.
Any games that you played this week that you'd like to give a
Just-
shout out?
Just been super playing Phantom Pain and Amnesia. Make sure you guys stay up to date on our
Yeah, on
YouTube.
Ubercrit. Yep.
On Ubercrit's YouTube.
YouTube.com/UbercritHD.
Because,
We don't even bump that shit on here.
because I will be uploading a bunch of horror Let's Plays and a bunch of spooky shit for Halloween
Nice.
and the month of October. And hopefully some reviews soon on. We'll see if we can get our hands on PT. It'd be super cool.
Nice. That would be great.
Super cool.
And Miguel has been Destiny. We mentioned that he's been on the Destiny train for a month now.
Yeah, you might get me back on Discord when it comes out on PC.
And I've been playing Super Nintendo Classic like all this past week, in addition to whatever else I've been doing, and then like went back into Minecraft a lot. Like been playing the shit out of that again. I actually have always loved that game,
Okay.
but I've like it's been like back into it though this time. Like,
Okay.
it's not just a casual like playing Minecraft again.
It's because I'm gone, right?
Yeah, pretty
the only
much.
one keeping you from playing it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he doesn't like it at all, so that's what.
I don't dislike Minecraft, but
Yeah,
it's I've
Yeah,
gotten my
it's-
fill of it.
as soon as his influence of playing other games come on, that's been like my main game again. That and Animal Crossing, I was playing that again too on the
Because I
DS.
played Animal Crossing
Don't get
so
him back on
long.
Animal Crossing, please.
So good.
He's perfectly fine just playing games where he can just
No,
drone
not him,
along.
Him, because
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that shit
Oh.
all day. I love you, though.
Bernard, how much time you got going?
Negative.
Negative time.
Nice.
Well, let's end it. That's been the not podcast. I'm always so used to that. That's been the show, Kind of Gaming Show on Chaotic Radio. We love everybody, and we hope that you love gaming as well. Hell yeah.
Nice. You're natural.
I was looking at the clock, and it was 9:59. I was like, oh yeah, we've got like 1 minute.
You're clear. We're good.
Hey,
Dude, I'm so glad that shit doesn't matter anymore.